Everyone to another week of Clash Royale League Asia. We're back once again with another exciting week prepared for you guys. My name is Joel Sophie. Joining with me is going to be G-Cliff, and we are here once again for another week, and we're joined in by Korea versus Japan, this time in Japan, to see how it all folds.
Well, let's see how it all folds, because against Southeast Asia, both regions were having a lot of trouble, especially last week where Korea only won a single match against Southeast Asia. Comparing to them this weekend, Japan versus Korea should be a little bit closer match compared to the other regions.
Well, we know that a lot of the times we had Korea versus Japan in the past, especially from Season 1, kind of brings back the bad memories of how Korea didn't get to do as well. It was kind of even worse when we came over to Southeast Asia, facing up against Korean teams you were talking about last week, not being the best week of these for them, and really now looking towards another week of Korea versus Japan, and more towards Korea. Can they really live up to the standards of being obviously a big esports country and being an esports region that I also always know Korea to be? But Clash Royale, I mean, it's been many weeks, and still haven't they proved themselves yet.
It is a very different story, of course, not just in terms of esports, because we are on new patch, live patch. We have difference in lots of cards, especially the barrel. We might actually see not just in other regions because of those changes, faster jump out from the barrel, quicker, and of course the damage, and nothing else really changed. But that's just enough to actually put the barrel in the meta, and the Royal Giants a little bit in there a while as well.
You know, obviously the Barbarian barrel actually are always referring to doing pretty well with that 2 elixir cost, but teams that are not doing so well is going to be Korean teams right now, and losing out many matches coming into this one. And basically the best team in Korea, Kings of DragonX, is the only team that barely has a winning record.
They actually had a 5-2 beginning of last week, but they actually dropped 2 matches, so 5-4. So that's going to put him in this first place, but compared to the other regions' first places, not too far away from that loss score at all. OGN actually surprising the only team to win against Southeast Asia last weekend, so they have a 1 now finally. In Japan, of course, they had a break. That's why they played less matches compared to the other 2.
And we'll see OGN ENTUS today to see if they can continue on their streak of finally starting to win some more games, because TNT, adding him on the lineup, has always been that spark of inspiration of can he really get the job done for this team, this young player coming out as the potentially Korea's best player acknowledged by many. And he will come into OGN ENTUS this game today against DentonatioN Gaming to see what he does. But here's our matchup for today. As we already mentioned with OGN, DentonatioN going to be our second matchup, but the first is going to be FOV Gaming Kingzone, with the last matchup of the night is going to be GameWith and OP Gaming to see how Korea and Japan fares off with each other.
It's going to be the second time, of course, in Japan this time, so we'll have to wait on that a little bit, depending on the... So we're getting the production from Japan today, and bringing it live to you guys. So we're kind of having a piggyback broadcast here.
But we always do appreciate the Japanese production is always different from what we provide here at OGN, and we are coming into another exciting week. We're almost done with basically the conference division. Will be ending any weekend now, and we'll probably get onto the playoffs pretty soon here. And basically the nearing of October, once it does end out, we will get over to exactly what we're going to get. So, you know, Korea, I mean, the teams that are basically, you know, struggling is kind of a commonly used word. Because,
yeah, this season especially.
But it really is. I mean, Season 1, we saw them struggle against Japan, and it's happened multiple times. But coming into this week, it feels like this season has all been about Korea struggling against everyone. It really seems as if Southeast Asia seems like a tough opponent for them, and Japan always seems like a tough opponent for these guys.
Yeah, if you want to talk about struggles, let's talk about 2v2s. They're having lots of 2v2 struggles, but that Royal Giant has got a major difference. Shorter in range, a lot more damage, 60% damage buff. When people just saw 60% damage buff, what is happening? But, of course, the range nerf is quite significant, I would say, so it has been out a lot, especially for the Southeast Asian team. They have been using a lot for the 2v2, which also was picked up by Japanese teams and the Korean teams very soon. I wonder he's going to show up at all today.
Well, I mean, the range reduced from 6.5 tiles all the way down to 5 tiles, so 5.0 even. So 1.5 decrease in that tile kind of makes it seem like a nerf, but oh man, 60% damage, you can feel it in your bones in the tournament challenges when you do go on that ladder and you see that level 13 Royal Giant, as if it wasn't doing enough damage already. Once it reaches your tower, oh my goodness, it does. Really a scary amounts of damage for that Royal Giant. So we'll see if it get used here once again, as you already did mention. Royal Giant along with the Giant Skeleton, a typical combo we saw from many of the 2v2 games from Southeast Asia.
Yes.
We'll see if other teams pick up.
Yeah, those were the bridge spam, but we do have the first match here. FOV Gaming versus Kingdom DragonX. Let's take a look at FOV Gaming first. Rad Yakitori, Kenzumeshi, of course, and Danny on the lineup here.
Gonna have Rad and Yakitori be that 2v2 duo. So we're kind of not surprised by this anymore. They've always been fantastic in their 2v2 endeavors. And we're gonna have Kenzumeshi back on the lineup for that 1v1. This time, we're gonna look at Expo Master and Ho being the 2v2 duo. So Expo not really going over to the 1v1 this time around. It is gonna be Big Daddy kind of producing pretty good results for his team, but obviously not really resulting in a win. So we'll see how this change really affects them today as Expo Master is back on that 2v2.
As we were mentioning last time, he was not as big as you can kind of tell. Third from the left. Not the Big Daddy you would see. And Expo Master going into 2v2, he can later come up with the King of the Hill. If it goes to King of the Hills, that will be the chance that they will be looking for in the third set of today.
And we're looking at the fourth players of each team with Donnie and July shaking their hands as we are going to look at the entry. We already kind of introduced you that Ragan and Yakitori will be the 2v2, but they will be banning out the Tornado. Basically the same card banned out by Expo Master and Ho from Kingzone as well. So the 2v2, very straightforward, no Tornado. It means that a lot of cards are still going to be opening up to play, but Kenzumeshi and Big Daddy, they're going to be banning out the P.E.K.K.A. and also the Royal Hogs, respectively, on that one for that 1v1. And of course, if it goes to the King of the Hills, Donnie and July can make their appearance, but we are going to be focused on the 2v2 for now.
Yeah, before the match can be over before we go to that King of the Hill. So let's focus on 2v2 first. That's going to be happening first. Just the Tornado Band, which means everything else is available. The standard Golem Bubble Print, that's still very powerful. With the changes with the Royal Giant, maybe less of that with the Giant Skeleton pairing. But we do have Poison Graveyard, the Miner, very standard one that Japan and Korea loves to use in 2v2 and 1v1 together.
And all the big spells are still available in this one, G-Clef, and we got the Fireball, we got the Poison, and got the Lightning as well. If you want to choose to use that, the Rocket always available for big pushes, always available for that one. So, having all these big spells available, it really opens up the deck as to what you can play, but at the same time, you can be countered in multiple ways by your opponents preparing multiple different spells out there.
Yep, and for the 1v1, we do have the P.E.K.K.A. Band. We already talked about the Tornado Band for 2v2. Maybe he's thinking about some Golem, but let's move on to 2v2. We had very similar decks multiple times, sometimes bringing the Flying Machine, Dark Goblins. Those are the small changes, holding in lots and lots of spells together. And even the Snowball getting a massive buff. I think they have to be holding in a lot of those giant snowballs.
We'll see if that comes into play, because kind of our question about, especially Southeast Asia coming off of last week, doing so well against the Korean team, going 7-1 in total. I mean, the Royal Giant is not really a bridge spam card anymore. You always have to use it now more strategically. You can summon it behind the tower, behind the King's Tower. Makes a lot more sense this time around. And bringing it around for that slow roaming push, just trying to get any type of range for all those turrets and all the siege units can be really having a tough time against the Royal Giants. So we'll see if the change that has happened recently, just a couple days ago, really affected the ladder plays in the top of the ladder with the top rankers. You really utilizing that Royal Giant, but we'll see if it affects the competitive play here.
Yeah, but it's only been a few days. But the ladder system at the meta is not settled yet, I would say. We have seen a lot of that Royal Giant, but has been disappearing just a little bit within the last couple, I would say last 24 hours, especially. It's very new. The patch only hit a couple days ago. So I wonder if they're holding something crazy. We can actually have some kind of cheese play for 2v2 today.
Could be, and the bar barrel, we were kind of emphasizing on that as we began this broadcast, and the significance of it traveling faster along with the Barbarian getting out of the barrel faster.
Yeah, it jumps out quicker, so you can it actually connects a lot faster.
So we saw that fitness workouts for that Barbarian inside that barrel. It just allowed it to be stronger and more agile for it to get out of the barrel just a little bit faster. We'll see if it gets used here in this 2v2 here, G-Clef. We're going to begin this game. Expo Master and Ho for King's Own DragonX up on the top side. And we're going to have Yakitori and Rad for FOV Gaming down at the bottom for Japan. And we'll see how this matchup goes between the two regions, because last time around, it's been all about Japan.
Yeah, last time around, Japan was definitely stronger compared to the Korean teams. Still giant skeletons. Let's see if anything comes out. But from Rad and Yakitori, we have a Lava Hound. Okay, there's a spam onto the right already.
Okay. My Expo Master and Ho might have just missed the patch note, because it will not get the tower quickly as it used to be. So literally the 5 Elixir Bomb Tower doing just well enough to hold on to all that damage and still takes it out. So another bridge spam being played here by King's Own DragonX, and they will have another bomb tower for this. So
I think they were trying to test if they had double bomb tower or just a single one, so they can actually do some connections. Inferno Dragon will take it out, but they're actually collecting a lot of the damage from the pubs onto the left with that Electro Wizard pushing. Yeah,
only 2 shots coming from the Royal Giant the second time around, and it's going to get it down to 20-26. But as you say, the big damage was coming out from the Lava Hound at 14.99. Obviously, the Ice Spirit's going to try to slow down this Infernal Dragon. It's going to allow it to connect a lot of hits. Look at that, 10-10. You talk about that 1 Elixir of Ice Spirit doing all the work there.
Freeze and the Rage comes right after. They know that they have to push, have a push here with the Poison. The Bomb Tower will have the drag.
The Bomb Tower with basically the most HP that we know of most of the turrets out there. It just allows for a lot of flexibility, as you can see right there.
Yeah, for a lower Elixir, it's got a lot of HP for sure.
I did say 5 Elixir, didn't I? It's actually 4, so yeah. It's something that had changed with the recent patches that came along, so. Once again, all these bridge maps with the Giant Skeleton, with the Royal Giant, all doing a pretty good job here. So.
Giant Skeleton's mostly used as a defensive use. Royal Giant just pushing to the bridge, just getting down the bomb tower every single time.
It's going to get away another 8 Elixir caught with that bomb tower along with the Infernal Dragon. We'll see if they have another bomb tower for this one, because it seems like the bridge map is still going to be ongoing until they can get the entirety of this tower.
Even guards as a defensive use, but there's an offensive poison. That's going to be a card down, but they want to trade. They have a lot of time in this game, 32 seconds. So they may just trade and go straight. They're going straight for the second one now.
Okay, we're going to see the bomb tower being applied here, but it's not going to really affect anything, as the second bomb tower has just to be summoned just to get all these attention from both of the Giant Skeleton along with the Royal Giants afterwards. So you do talk about doing a pretty good job with this push that comes consistently. It's coming with the Lava Loop, but really the big damage isn't really coming with this push.
The rage, the bat has to be stopped with the zap. And Expo Master Ho, their Giant Skeleton not really connecting anything, even with the death damage from the bomb. It's missed on the Valkyrie and the Mega Minion as well.
So all in all, it's going to be a 990 HP count on the right tower. As we see, the double elite Royal Giant here, and let's see how this really affects the play here. I'm only going to get a couple of damage through because all this double elixir allowing these quick defense from the side of Yakitori and Rad, and seems like Kingzone, that's the only win condition that they have with the Royal Giants.
Yeah, exactly. And the air units are not really dealt with. There's a double Lava Hound now. Balloon should be coming very soon as well.
Let's see if this really does happen here. The double Lava Hound taking a long time to kill these guys off, and now you do say the balloon is finally coming off, and this bomb tower once again doing a fantastic job of targeting everything, and that little balloon will get there in time. That's going to be Yakitori and Rad for 5 gaming, picking up game number 1. We see the Royal Giant now being used and being applied here in this competitive play, but really not too much success.
Yeah, the new one certainly has been working a little bit at the beginning, but once Rad and Yakitori found the perfect cycle against it, and they had not just the bomb tower, Inferno Dragon to bring down that heavy HP of that Royal Giant, that was the big tool. And once they got the cycle for it, all they had to do was prepare for the Lava Hound and then use the balloon, because Kingdom DragonX, they literally did not have too many anti-air to actually deal with it.
And we'll see, obviously the bomb tower only good enough to pull things in, but once it does get killed out pretty quickly by the balloon, obviously dropping that heavy bomb, it's not going to last for very long. And the Lava Hound really, with not enough air defense coming from Kingzone DragonX, meaning that it's going to take a long time to kill that Lava Hound. When you summon double of them near the end, there was nothing that was going to get in the way of that and the balloon charging in for that last finish.
Yeah, makes sense. They banned out the tornado. With the pubs balloon, it's literally just travel time to the power. If you drag them, it buys so much time. But when the tornado's banned out in this case, then that's the perfect move to make.
See if the timeout being applied here, it's going to get that 1 extra minute for Kingzone after losing that one. And obviously the problem, I would have to say, came from the lack of air defense, but what else with it? I mean, you talk about your win condition being the Royal Giant. You were counting on your Giant Skeleton to put a lot of death damage on trying to get the countering units on, but it just seemed as if the Royal Giant, they were cycled pretty quickly, I would have to say, relatively, but when you hit that Giant Skeleton, it does nothing for that 6 elixirs, you are going to lose out in that cycle there. Yeah,
Royal Giant's pretty heavy. It's one that you expect to do at least a little damage to the tower. Once it actually does not, then you have to find a secondary one.
Right. And
they didn't have anything like the miner, the barrel. Even when the tornadoes banned out, you would expect at least few miners, at least one, from both of these teams to have a secondary winning conditions. But they actually did not. They put a lot of spells into their deck.
Right. No, but you know, that was the situation that we were all coming into, coming in with this patch note that came only a couple days ago. We are seeing the Royal Giant being a little bit more prevalent in this current meta, especially along the top of the ladder plays. But when they're level 13, it tells a different story when they're compared to level 9. So it does do a lot of damage with that 60% increase that it got to the buff. But that 1.5 tower, it does you a lot trying to get to the tower in time.
Yeah, let's see. This game 2, let's see if Kingdom DragonX uses that same Royal Giant strategy once again. Rad and Yakitori, if they will bring out that Lava Hound once again too.
We were talking about the Royal Giant might not be the British Spam deck that you used to know about that 6 elixir card, but you're going to see the same the Lava Hound here and same Royal Giant on the Kingdom DragonX side.
Luckily for Rad and Yakitori, they had double Inferno Dragon from the starting hand, so Expo Master, I know they're trying to test it. Already a balloon onto the left.
That's a really
And the push onto the right at the same time.
Oh, those bats are slowing things down so much here. And that one little swipe from the Mega Minion isn't going to cut it for the balloon. And still gets that one drop and gets the explosive damage as well. So, and not the best start if you're Kingzone.
Guess what? On the right side, the attack continues with clubs.
And the Mega Minion, it's going to get swipe. 2? Okay, so wow. I mean, look at that. 1464 on the left, 1244 on the right.
I would say that Rad and Yakitori is winning big time already. Of course, everyone should know that with the bomb tower, they're going to have another defense. And it's not actually... They don't even need a Chrono Dragon. They just have all the air units, the Mega Minion to do the damage.
I mean, if you're winning out in trades 6 versus 4, when you put that bomb tower in, and it basically dies the same time as the Royal Giant does, you're doing something right. Because it seems like you're winning out 2 elixirs every single time you do that.
Yeah, because you can actually use that Mega Minion into your attack right after. So you're actually not wasting as much. This is the real push.
This is a really heavy push, and we'll see if this works out. Giant Skeleton will not reach the tower, obviously, but about this Royal Giant, how many shots is going to get? 1, 2. It's going to get a third one out. It's going to get the fourth as well, so barely getting it down. That gets it down to 372. This is the kind of the danger of really leaving the Royal Giant hanging and allowing to get damage like that.
Yeah, they will actually switch to the right side and they start attacking the second one already. Oh, actually they do want to finish it. They have poison, but they want to just make sure that they finish the left one.
Just putting the bats out there, just encourage, but knowing that the left tower was going to go down. They're just going to go all-in push on the right side. Yeah, rather than Yakitori, because I think in this one, the left tower will be a lot easier when compared to Kingzone, to have to attack on the right side again. So this Rage now being put down on the right side. This Royal Giant kind of sneaking up into the pocket. We'll see what it does here.
Pushing in, doing a few damage, but the Rad and Yakitori, they're trying to do a little more by bringing them down the tower. Defensive poison from Kingzone.
That's it. Yeah, the Rad and Yakitori will get that right tower just finally here. And the left tower just going all the way to the balloon, and also with the Lava Hoon right on the pocket. But the bomb tower will push things back just a little bit here. Now the balloon is going to be reaching towards the King's Tower instead. Not the best strategy if you were playing that beforehand. So we're going to get the Lava Hound still attacking the charge here. And it's going to get it down to about a little under 500. So 582 is going to be the final count now.
The Ice Wizard did a lot in that case, but because of the surprise attack there, it's got a lot of damage, even to the King Tower balloon dropping one explosion there.
Now we're going to get the bomb tower once again to just hold up the shots that are coming in from the Royal Giant. The Royal Giant will get one hit just about. That's about it. And now they have all the luxury in the world, but another Royal Giant is coming in now. What do they do with this? 1, 2, and a third shot will definitely be coming in. Fourth one doesn't. So that's going to leave it at 581, 447 that Rad and Yakitori has to cover in this instance. And the Mega Minion is going to be chasing this balloon, and also this bomb tower will be tracking this back. So this might be a victory for Kingzone here.
And they get it with late bomb tower from Fab Gaming there. I think they were concerned a lot more about their own attack with the Rage, with the balloon, which was possible, but you knew that bomb tower was coming. I think it's better to have the safety first, then go for your own attack. Of course, they didn't have really too much time. They had the cycle for it. I think depending on, because they actually put down the balloon first, the elixir came really late for that defensive bomb tower of their own.
I mean, what do we always say, G-Cliff? Defense first, then turn that into a counterattack. That's how you win Clash Royale. And these players very well know that fact, but you know, once you're really reaching for that 400 plus damage to go with that balloon, that one drop with a couple of damage, even if you don't get the drop, the death damage with a couple additional spells would have gotten the job done. So I can understand from the perspective of Fab Gaming wanting to finish it out quickly, but you always have to be conscious of that Royal Giant coming back to cycle very quickly.
Yeah, sometimes you do forget, even if in 2v2, once you focus so much on your own attack onto one side, sometimes you just do not see the other side. I think that's literally what happened. While they could have dropped down the bomb tower first and then go for the balloon, they have a lot of other choices. If they didn't have that in hand, they could have just cycled with some of the lower ones, like the bats. They had the guards as well. So there were lots of possibilities where Fab Gaming could have actually picked the win in a longer overtime in that case.
So the set 1 will be extended over to 3 games, G-Cliff, and after Kingzone DragonX just barely won that out. With
And look
that
at this, double the timeout already before we go into the 1v1, which is really rare. And this basically means that both teams are putting a lot of their focusing onto this 2v2 right now.
Putting a lot of importance and really just emphasizing the importance of having all these meta changes, and especially with the Royal Giant now being affected here, they need more time to talk about it, because I'm sure they talked about it for a couple of days now, that after the buff had already occurred and the change had already been placed intact. And you've been talking about it for many days now, and still not enough reasons to really find the answer as to how to best handle that Royal Giant. So we'll see how this extra minute have done well for FOF Gaming, because we're going to get into this next one. Game 3 will be very shortly on the way.
It's going to be the final one. Winner takes set number 1. Of course, 1v1 is coming up right after. You want to finish it with a 2-0. That's the best one. King of the Hill is waiting. It is the best to finish this first set with your win, though. It's going to be the first move that they want to make. That's why both teams have already called for timeout.
And with both timeouts being played, huge priority being placed in these 2v2 matches. And we're going to get up to Game 3, guys. With FOF Gaming and Kingzone DragonX only banning out the tornadoes, it leaves a lot of room open for all these plays to come apart. So big games. So far, it's been all about the Royal Giant or the Lava Hound. Who's going to get the better of it here? We're going to see the Royal Hogs being played out. So a little bit of surprise pick by Expo Master and Ho to start off this game number 3. Going to have the Miner just trying to join in for that damage. And oh man, even with that offensive poison early, pretty heavy in terms of investment from Kingzone side. Yeah,
I think they wanted to test DragonX 3 a little bit here. If they have the bomb tower, they do have it, but it seems like they didn't have it in the first cycle. They have the Miner in this case, so secondary options here.
So we're going to have the Miner chip away with no defense this time around from DentonatioN. Just going to go all in on this right side, and the Rage with the bomb tower being placed is not going to drag the balloon. And look at this, the balloon is not going to be targeted by the Infernal Dragon. It's just going to leave it all open. The balloon hasn't taken a single damage.
That was 100% intended. They positioned Lava Hound and the Infernal Dragon on the left, so it actually does not go to the left. That's really hard to do, but that all comes through practice.
And really, I mean, you put that death damage right there, that's basically a tower, and basically a quarter of the King's Tower already gone for that one attack.
And also bomb tower, if it was placed a little bit with us one down, I think it could have got the drag, but a little bit too late, I would say, from Expo and Ho.
Now you're going to be extremely behind in the Elixirs right now if you are Kingzone, and once again, just ignoring the defense, just going to go for their counterattack of their own, just going with another Lava Hound push. With these Mega Minions intact, we're going to see another heavy investment from the side of Kingzone. You see all these heavy investment, knowing that the defense is going to be available for Rad and Yakitori.
Another Rage. They have the defensive poison this time, but the balloon is still very powerful. Landed one already. That's going to be 2.
That's it.
With the death damage, that's not going to bring down the entire tower, but that's very close. Few more spells. That's 2 crowns.
That's one big spell away. Fireball poison. It doesn't matter what you put in, and that's going to be gone for the side of Kingzone. And now you are looking towards this fact that the bomb tower is now a must, a necessity for all these defense coming along, and it seems like, once again, you see right there, just the Royal Hogs being dragged in all at the same time. Nothing. Look at the damage that was done, even with the offensive poison in hand. 21-68 is going to be the final count.
Yeah, they need a lot more pairing with the Miner. Perfect. Look at that. Knock back and slow from the Giant Snowball as well. The Miner is coming. They can maybe get 1 crown by the end, but rather than Yakitori, they're going to get the 2 crowns.
And literally, Kingzone is investing every one of their elixir into one push every single time, and they're not even getting a tower off of it. And 2 crowns, very easy for Rad and Yakitori and FOF Gaming. Just really making this game look easy with the counter matchup that didn't look so favorable. Look at 8 Royal Hogs just being dragged into this bomb tower. That's going to be killing it. The GG for this one, and DragonX extremely happy about their achievements right there in Game 3. So easily over to FOF Gaming.
I would say, to summarize what happened in this first set, it is, do you have the anti-air or not? For Kingzone DragonX, I think that was a big story. Even if they had a Tesla in this game or the last game, I think it could have looked actually very different. They could have dragged a lot of those air units to Lava Hound, the balloon as well. Of course, Tesla just goes down straight to the balloon, but it buys a lot of time for your team.
I mean, that's what it was starting from game 1 when Kingzone lost the first one. It's literally the lack of air defense, and basically they were trying to just counter back on their own with the Royal Giants, but we know the cycle is not going to be as quick as the Lava Loon, especially when you're trying to summon that extra 6 elixirs with that giant skeleton from the side of Kingzone. And FAV Gaming, I really knew what they were up against, and from that game 1 when they won in game 2, it was very, very close. It definitely could have gone over to FAV Gaming, but game 3 made it look just as easy.
Not just the game result, but because of how Kingdom Dragon actually lost that game. All 3 games, it was very similar decks coming out from Rand and Yakitori from FAV Gaming, but simply they had no answer. Even though they had a timeout, they had a lot of time to actually change their decks, they were concerned about their own only, not about the opponent side at all, which concerns me a lot going into the second set. If they actually care about the opponent deck a lot, they should actually have at least a solution and then bring out something of your own.
Yeah, really.
Maybe they just concluded that it works fine, which was certainly not the case.
No, Kingzone was literally just all in attack from the first moment the game started until the game ended, and putting in all 8 Royal Hogs into both opposing lanes and getting it all dragged in by the bomb tower kind of told us the story. And really looking towards Kingzone, really not defending, but trying to just go all in attack, trying to just outdo the damage. Who's going to get the 3 crowns first is what they're probably looking for, but you know, all that aside, we are going to go to that 1v1 to see what Kensumeshi and also Big Daddy can do. The bans were revealed a little bit earlier with the P.E.K.K.A and the Royal Hogs, so we'll see how this affects the game here, because Kingzone definitely need to win some games now.
Oh yes, and 1v1, we're talking about a different story though, Joe. 2v2, it's a new patch. We got to see a lot of the same attacks coming out from FAV Gaming, but Kensumeshi bends out the P.E.K.K.A. Does it mean that he's going to bring the beat down once again? Like the giant golem, so strong. Even with the Barbarian Barrel, it actually helps a lot when they push with Giant.
It just seems like it. I mean, the Barbarian Barrel is just so strong that some people are preferring over the Log for many different archetypes, and you would have never imagined that. I mean, back in the day when it was back in the 3 cost and it was basically the worst card in the entire game.
I would still never imagine if it's back then.
You know, I mean,
it's got big changes coming in.
It did.
Yes.
I mean, we were emphasizing how bad the card was. At 3 elixirs, it basically did not much more damage than the actual Log did for 2 elixirs, and basically that Barbarian that came out literally did nothing. It served no purpose, and it was terrible. But now at 2 elixirs, getting a free Barbarian out of that just seems like a huge boost of momentum. And with that buff that happened most recently, with how fast it travels with the barrel and also how fast the Barbarian gets out of the barrel, did really just wonders over to that card, now being hugely popular in the latter place here.
Yeah, we'll see. Got a lot of other changes as well. The Skeleton Army getting one more skeleton.
Hey! Maybe one of the skeletons had a son or something. They just joined the party. It could be possible.
Every single time, it's happening. Maybe for competitive as well, but yet to see on that Skeleton Army too much.
Yeah, Big Skarmy is not really a thing for competitive. It's mostly used in kind of lower tier plays, not even the top tier plays where Arena 12 you start to get into. You see less and less of those Skarmies out there, because Skarmy does very well in Arena 1 when you're introduced to that 3 elixir card for the very first time. This is my first epic card, and I feel extremely good about it, and it kills everything in seconds. And you know, once you find out it dies to Zap, it dies to Log, and it dies to everything else basically in the spells, it doesn't do you very good.
We'll see. On that seems like we have a Log.
Some heavy emote game.
Yes,
going
I love
on
it so much.
Kensumeshi and Big Daddy. This might be more exciting than the game itself. And gonna see the Wizard emotes for the very first time here. Anyway, got to see obviously how it was introduced in the game today, and I was actually very excited about it. Oh, okay.
That was coming.
Wow.
Sparky.
Big Daddy was thinking the same thing. He said, "Wow, see." At the same time I did, and wow, he got a Sparky giant deck.
Yeah, Ice Wizard is even stronger, but the Hog Rider does straight damage. And good luck with that. That's what Big Daddy says. It's not bats, but he will take hits directly onto the tower.
Okay, it's not the giant. It's a giant goblin deck. That is
Sparky,
really...
it's still pushing.
Okay.
And with the Log, he does not have a Zap or Electro Wizard at all. He has an Ice Wizard, but it only slows down. Sparky, okay, Tornado pulls it back, but gets hit onto the tower. And that's a Zap for Kensumeshi.
And you get that one little zap because you avoid that last arrow coming from the Princess Tower.
Yes,
and that gets the second zap through, and it breaks the tower. Oh my goodness. Kensumeshi got us hyped again.
So literally what Big Daddy has is cancelled by all that giant goblin first, and then the tornado. That's the only other thing. But Kensumeshi is not scared. Sparky doesn't get a reset from tornado. It only pulls it back. There's no Zap for him. There's no Electro Wizard. So this is a horrible counter deck.
Oh my goodness. I wish Kensumeshi finishes off the game. He's gonna win, obviously. And there's no way that Big Daddy's coming out for that one.
There are a few ways, but very, very low chance.
But you know what it is? What I want right
Sparky.
now, what I want right now is to win with the Sparky deck and go with the Wizard Dab emote to end this game for Kensumeshi. That's what I want to see, because, oh man.
Just in time. I have to use a lot of spells for that Sparky.
Look at that. Just gonna get, maybe one step doesn't come through, but all that through, you see another Hawk Rider being played in here. Of course, not really leading to anything. Just offensive poison is gonna be seemingly to be the answer for the side of Big Daddy, because right now he has no other win condition.
Yep. He does have Goblin to push all the time. As long as he maintains that Sparky off that tombstone, he will be all good to go. There's that knockback from the log and the tornado now. Yeah. Ooh, pulls these Spear Goblins as well. That's not a bad one. Ooh, gets deleted.
Okay, so that's the last ditch effort coming in from Big Daddy. I'm going to see a last-minute Hawk Rider to see if he can get enough damage through, and the Fireball will negate that with the Mega Minion helping out. And picking his boogers is going to be the best thing for Big Daddy right now, because he's definitely not going to win. And he does it! He does the dab with the Wizard. I told you he was going to do that.
The newest emote
oh,
in-game.
Man. Cost $25 for that emote.
I do not have it yet, but one day.
We'll get it. We'll get it. I think Simon got it already. I actually saw him spamming that emote.
Simon will be happy about this game.
Exactly.
With the Sparky 100% win rate still in Royale League Asia.
And back over to Clinton. He's a formidable user of that Sparky, and he enjoys it a lot.
He's got the change from the with that Royal Giant.
He needs to change it from Goblin Giant.
Yes.
Go with the Goblin Giant. Oh man, that's the new meta right now. And it makes a lot of sense because, you know, the Goblin Giant does so well of kind of negating the things like Tombstone and stuff that little can get in the way of all these big tanks that are just been roaching right into the towers. It makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, Spear Goblin just enough to take down all the skeletons in a single shot. And no timeout for Big Daddy. That's going to be a big question. Well, he had a minute. Is that going to be enough time to come back into the mentality when you lose against Sparky?
If you are Big Daddy, what are you thinking? Do you think that Sparky deck will be coming back again and now you just prepare for an anti-Sparky deck? Or you kind of think the obvious where, you know, the Sparky deck is just a one-time thing. Obviously, he's not going to use it. Now he has no idea what he's going to use.
Switch just maybe switch one. But if you want to switch one, you should just bring in another deck, I think, in that case. Sure. You can't just change Tornado. You can't just have an Ice Wizard, Electro Wizard instead of the Ice Wizard because he had the Tornado anyhow.
But what's the guarantee that a Sparky deck's gonna make its appearance again? Because Kensumeshi, I don't know. I mean, he might not use the Sparky deck again. So, you know, a cheeky deck like that you don't use very often. So, you got your one win out of it. So Kensumeshi might just bring another one here. Another Wizard emote being featured right here.
Kensumeshi says, "Lights out."
Okay, Big Daddy got his own as well. So, gonna see the Goblin Barrel to start things off.
Ooh, log bait, but he has a log at least. So he was trying to have this mind game. Bring your Zap, because I had a Sparky last time, which means there is going to be no log, but he did bring it once again.
Right.
So Big Daddy did not fall for that mind trick.
We're gonna see a huge log bait deck. And it's very much prepared for Big Daddy. He's got the poison, he's got the log, so it's gonna help him out with Princess and stuff like that. It helps out with that. Obviously the Dark Goblin as well, so we'll see how this returns through. Kensumeshi just trying to cycle a little bit faster than Big Daddy. I think he will have the log back soon enough. The Tornado is going to be his answer this time around.
Nice positioning on the barrel just in case he has a Tornado.
Yeah, but that's a triple spell for Big Daddy. That's very good news for him if he wants to win out against this log bait deck. Because having 3 spells gives you 3 more options.
3 spells with the Night Witch. It means to me that it's going to be one of the heavy ones, and he's been holding a lot of those elixirs too.
I mean, the Golem deck could be a question here. So now cycling back again to another Goblin Barrels. Now it's going to get a couple of stabs in, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. will have a little bit of time here. So Big Daddy most likely bringing the Golem deck here, and we'll see if that really turns into play once again.
Another game where Kensumeshi wins big time with the deck choice, because he's got that Goblin Gang, which is really hard to deal with just single hits from the Mini P.E.K.K.A, Night Witch, Mega Minion. It takes a long time. That's why you have to actually use poison, even the log sometimes, But it's basically log bait. He has a lot of spells, but he's got to use it every single time, which means Kenzumeshi wins a lot of that time.
Well, I mean, Big Daddy has 3 spells, but Kenzumeshi has every single unit that would be affected by the log. So, I mean, in terms of winning out, you understand how that works out. The rocket will pretty much be his cycle, and Kenzumeshi will eventually win this game here.
We'll see. Big Daddy has to put in everything into this attack, but he doesn't have anything extra, like the Elixir Collector in this game.
Even a Tesla.
Tesla is actually a great one against the Golem.
That is actually perfect right now, and looking towards this Prince just surviving long enough to destroy this Golem. And you see this mini P.E.K.K.A coming in, another Prince is back on the cycle, and this is the importance of having such a quick cycle with this deck. And it seems like Dark Goblin will take care of everything in terms of the Baby Dragon, and Tornado just barely just blocking out the Goblin Barrel.
Yeah, he's been having actually not a bad one. Baby Dragon actually did a lot of damage. 1300 left on the bottom right tower. The Golden Push has been working a little bit now. He's got the push coming with the Night Witch. Offensive Poison to bring down the Tesla at the same time.
You see the Night Witch very safe here, just destroying this Prince out. And this Rocket will do wonders against the Night Witch and also the Baby Dragon.
The bats are connecting though.
Okay, the bats are here. That's it. Okay, that's one way to win it.
With the Golemite, just enough. Sometimes you kind of neglect how much bats can actually do when the Princess Tower is locked onto some other target. But most of the damage came down from the bats, and he has certainly made that cycle work. He took a lot of damage in the early game simply because he was waiting for that perfect move. But great game by Big Daddy to actually bring it all the way back. He was very countered by that long bait deck here.
Being very patient to wait for that double elixir time in that 1 minute mark, and really starting his action from there. And Golem with a couple of pushes is going to be good enough to take down the tower in the end, with the bats really just seemingly poking around and basically having no zap for the side of Kenzumeshi. It was a big problem because obviously the Night Witch producing the bats on its own, and it's going to be very tough if you can't really avoid that. And the Night Witch really wasn't taken care of at all times.
Most of the time you bring the log in the deck, so you don't really have the zap to take care of the small units. I think Snowball is a nice addition if you really want to use it, but actually having the Prince instead of the Princess hurt him in a big way, where if he had the Princess onto the other side, which draws out another spell lots of the times. But in this case with the Prince, it was just not effective against the bats at all.
I mean, I use the log bait quite a bit in my own kind of Grand Challenge decks, but I kind of like to use the Princess instead of the Dark Goblin.
Yeah, it is the most common one.
Yeah, it's the most common one that comes into play. It does AoE damage and over time. And the Dark Goblin was a pretty aggressive choice by Kenzumeshi, if I have to say honest, but obviously he probably didn't expect the Golem deck there. So we'll go to Game 3 kind of wondering what these two players are thinking in terms of the deck choices. So let's go to Game 3 to see what Fog Gaming and Kingzone has in store for us for this last one.
Fog Gaming still on the match point because they won the first set. Kenzumeshi just 1 game away from the entire match win here.
That is the best emote right now in all of Clash Royale. I just say it right now, and people are going to spam this all day like that Hulk screaming emote that came out only a couple months ago.
Play the game with the emote itself.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's a good idea. It's literally just to silence out the noise. Why not?
And then turn it back on when you win.
Yeah, and Hulk screaming him. I can't believe this.
Oh, another.
Okay,
Is
Sparky?
it another Sparky?
Could be. I mean, if he brought another Golem deck here, that Big Daddy, Sparky's a great answer to the Golem deck.
So far, we do have the same exact 4 cards for Game 4 for Kenzumeshi. And the same, I think it's the same deck from Big Daddy in Game 1 as well.
Game 1?
Yes. With the Log, Ice Wizard, Ice Golem, there's that Sparky. And then Big Daddy stares at Kenzumeshi for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna do now? Giant Golem probably back in cycle pretty soon.
I think he'll have it soon, but maybe just because he did not have the perfect cycle to start it off. Not this time.
That's the Infernal Dragon. Can it take care of the Sparky every single time it comes on? That has to be the plan here. See the Giant Goblin back at its stroll once again. We're going to see the bats being eliminated by the Ice Wizard, but this Goblin Giant almost getting to the tower will be tornadoed away.
So he will have, if it's the same deck, he will have the poison to deal with later damage, but unless the Sparky is out there, he doesn't want to use it yet.
So the Spear Golem is retargeting onto the Ice Wizard to make this Ice Wizard almost seem invincible as it's just not dying out here. And we'll get that one more swipe from the Mega Minion to knock it away. So we'll see how this sparking goes for Kensumichi this time around.
Yep, this is the setup when Kensumichi wants to hatch. He will try to fireball Graveyard, a different deck finally.
It is a different deck coming in from Big Daddy. We will have this being played out here. And then since Sparky just going to get distracted, not going to move forward in its tracks here. And the Giant Goblin obviously doing a pretty good job. It's still just moving on here.
That's a nice one with the Ice Wizard slowing everything down in the tornado. That's a great wipe there.
That's a good defense coming in, but that's 1350, still a little bit behind in terms of the HP on your tower. And let's see if Big Daddy can turn things around. He has the Graveyard, but Kensumichi without a poison. That's going to be a trouble for him. See how he handles the situation.
He actually pulled the Sparky last time with the Graveyard delaying it, but this time they did connect. So the poison is used in the Fireball to delete the Inferno Dragon.
We're going to get this Goblin Giant to roam in here, and I get the Spirit Goblins to get a couple of hits here, and we're going to see it go down to about 881. Another just summoned right at the bridge here from the side of the Giant Goblin, and move in here. Obviously with the Spirit Goblins doing a pretty good job. The Fireball is going to stop things through, and
yeah, but the Spear's attacking the tower.
That's it. And that's going to be the poke, the second one. That ought to do it, and Kensumichi gets the Game 3 victory, and it's going to be match point. That's going to be acquired by FAV Gaming, and we're going to end in 2 sets. Not just replicating the Wizard emote. Wait to get it done, and FAV Gaming, the clear victors out of this one, winning on the 2v2 and the 1v1.
Yeah, that's going to be a clear 2-0. What a game we have. Back-to-back wins continuing, but starting with FAV Gaming, of course, 2v2, 2-1, 1v1, 2-2-1 as well. We had some big moments from Big Daddy actually changing his deck with the Graveyard, making sure he has a poison, but just not enough. Seems like we have a few different meta decks here right now, and it's going to settle in the coming weeks, but right now anything can basically come out.
And something I did see a lot in the ladder recently after that patch had occurred, it was that it was a Graveyard deck, but it actually saw it with the Bar Barrel being applied a lot here. So we'll see how the difference comes into the future days of when we see this patch being a little bit more vibrant in terms of what we're going to be seeing in the later matches. But it's going to be the highlight of Kensumichi, how he destroyed basically Big Daddy's hopes of winning at this 1v1.
Why no highlight of the very first game? This is the 3rd game already, but it was a big Sparky move, I would say, Kensumichi had made. Big Daddy was trying to play the mind game together and use it for his own by having that just holding that Graveyard, thinking to Kensumichi, does he have the same deck from game 1? He actually did not, but Graveyard was not enough to have his own condition down to the tower.
I mean, when you're playing against the Sparky deck, you feel confident about the fact that when you stop the Sparky, you feel kind of accomplished already. But when you use so many elixirs to get that job done, you're not going to be winning out.
Yeah.
And it seemed as if Big Daddy had to invest basically infinite amount of elixirs. Well, we'll see what they say from the interview from Kensumichi on the board.
いやー、自らこうゴブジャイになった感じで出てきましたけれども、
誰がゴブジャイアント
言ってましたね。でゴブリンジャイアントの作業いかがでした？
そうですね、ゴブリンジャイアントやっぱり HP が 6%
How was the Goblin Giant usage there?
すごい強力なユニットになってたので、スパーキーとの組み合わせが
Well, the HP was always going to be astounding,
なる
so
ほど、もう1本目からね同じデッキでいって、
that's what allowed me to get the win
もうまさに
because
ビッグダディ選手、うわこれ厳しいみたいな形でね、少しこう諦めモード途中から出てましたけどね。
そうですね。
そしてまあ
it was really tough for you, but how was it?
ゲーム2はゴーレムデッキを出されてしまって、こうゴーレムっていうのは自分の中では予測していなかったので、ちょっとこう終盤まで粘られてしまったかなというイメージです。
まあもう早く
Playing against the Golem was a little bit unexpected, so
そうですね。
couldn't win out against that
そして
one.
ゲーム3またこうゴブジャイで行った理由っていうのはあったんですか？
相手の呪文がザップとローリングッドでうまく散らすことができていて、やっぱり自分にはローリングッドさえが多いので、まあ次はローリングッドで来るだろうなっていったところで読みが当たりました。
なるほど。そしてね、今回セット1、セット2でうまくこうファブゲ
My
ームに
opponent was going to use the log once again, so that was a good chance for me to counteract that with the
残
Sparky
っている形ではあり
deck.
ますが、勝利数は追いつくことに成功しました。これファブゲーミングにとってはかなりね序盤苦しい戦いが多かったと思うんですけど、だいぶこう巻き返してきましたね。
そうですね。まあやっと乗り越えたので、今すごいいい状態でチーム全員でこう戦っているので、本当に感謝です。
これどういったところが
I feel like it's tough for all of us, but we're doing a little bit better, so hopefully it gets better soon for us.
研究をしたりだとか、まああとは やっぱりダニ選手の、キングオブヒル、3人抜きからやっぱりチーム全員が死に物狂いで練習するようになったので、すごいいい刺激を与えてくれたなと思います。
それは確かに大きなねきっかけだったかもしれません。
Our entire team is always thinking about experimenting and coming up with new ideas how to win the game. So that's going to be our continual goal.
一言いただきたいと思います。
まだまだ折り返し地点ですが、
a couple games left. How do you feel about the rest of the matches?
ファブゲーミングが日本1位で通過できるように頑張ります。応援お願いします。
はい、ありがとうございました。
We'll see if we can win with Fab Gaming, try to do a little bit better with that. So that's going to be the end of the interview with Kensmichi. Really a tough one for Kingston to take once again because they're coming off of 2 losses in a row from Southeast Asia. They're going to be facing a 3rd one in a row now with Fab Gaming. Not even the strongest team in Japan, but beating them out pretty strongly here for that 2v2 and the 1v1, not even giving that time to go to the King of the Hill.
Yeah, they've been #1 from Korea, but if Sandbox, who's not playing today, luckily, but they're playing tomorrow, if they win against any other Japanese team, they will actually take the 1st place instead. And Fab Gaming, they have one more against Sandbox. That's the final one of the weekend, and that's going to be a very interesting one. But Kingston losing 2-0, so it's a little tough.
That's going to be it for the first series, guys. We're going to go into a short break, come back with the second series with OG and ENTUS finally getting a win on the board. See if they get a second one against DentonatioN Gaming. We're going to find that out after a short break, as we'll be right back.
Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome back, guys, to CRL Asia Season 2. We're back once again after its first series. The woes continue for Korea as the best team for Korea, Kings on DragonX, loses against not the best team from Japan for FOV Gaming. We're gonna go into the second series of the night, kind of wondering if we're gonna get the continuation of Japan doing so well.
Well, we're gonna see the best team from Korea losing, and we're gonna have the bottom team from Korea going against DentonatioN Gaming. That's gonna be the second match here. Let's see, with the only win from last weekend for Korea, if OGN actually starts their own streak with TNT in it.
And we're gonna see with the Lewis and Koo, obviously very much formidable in their 2v2 endeavors as we're always so used to it. Tempura is gonna be the 1v1 player in line with Pierre Meki, gonna be in the sidelines and just helping with the moral support. And we're gonna be looking towards the OG and ENTUS. We're gonna have TNT back on that set 2, that 1v1, and Howlin' One Crown is going to be the duo that we're believing in to produce the results here, because Cumulus is going to be the fourth player. Shadow Smokey is not even in the lineup, so even if we go to the King of the Hills, it will be up to these 4 players to take care of the job.
They will actually have the stable duo for both teams today, and then the 1v1 player. It's going to be the one as Tempura and Pyrameki does change from time to time sometimes. A lot more 1v1 plays coming out from Tempura. But once again, let's start with the 2v2. We're going to see some similar decks compared to match number 1.
And you saw a little smile from TNT as he was shaking hands with Tempura, and what a great story for this young player. Obviously the youngest player coming in, and we are going to get the bans. Very interesting, I should kind of just exclamation all over it, and TNT is going to ban the Ice Golem to start things off against the Tornado ban of Tempura. But Loose Coup, they're going to be just banning out the Infernal Dragon, as we're going to see Howlin' One Crown go with the Lava Hound ban. So pretty interesting bans all around from OG and ENTUS.
I'll talk about the 1v1 bans later when we have a 1v1 match. Pretty excited about that too. But Infernal Dragon, Lava Hound, both teams just say, oh man, let's just not have any type of air units and have that Tornado, which means blue less effective in this way. So just sticking with that Golem push. And the Royal Giant that we've been seeing a lot. I think we'll just come out on this 2v2.
Well, the Infernal Dragon makes a lot of sense against the Royal Giant because it literally kills it, but the Lava Hound makes a lot of sense too, because we saw from the first series where FOV Gaming used the Lava Hound deck and against Kings on DragonX's the Royal Giant deck, and it didn't work out too well from game 1 and just barely won on game 2, but just goes to show you that the air units, basically an air all-field deck, does not work too well when you're trying to just win with the Royal Giant deck if you are looking towards that OG and ENTUS. So a good ban coming out for both sides. Probably just going to be a spam of Royal Giants all day, every day on this one here, G-Cliff.
Yeah, both bans. Infernal Dragon for 2v2, Tornado for 1v1 from DentonatioN. Just tells what's in the meta, but I feel like OG and ENTUS, Lava Hound ban specifically against DentonatioN 2v2, they have used a lot. Very common for Japanese team, but the most used by DentonatioN on 2v2. That's a snipe ban I would call, also the Ice Golem. So all the bans, depending on the numbers, having the highest percentage of using in that 2v2 1v1 match, I think they sniped it perfectly here.
Just literally wants to get the opponents a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly.
In terms of using their comfortable cards and being in their comfort zone of trying to work with the deck that always they're so accustomed to, but having a little missing of that puzzle, of that one piece being out, it does really create a lot of nuisance over to your opponents when they have to form a new deck around basically the cards that are so key and vital to what brings them a lot of success. So 2v2 now. We didn't see too much success from Korean teams in the past few weeks in their 2v2 endeavors. You know, Howlin' One Crown, they're not the best 2v2 to be honest. Let's be honest about all this, but let's see how they do against Lewis Koo. Very established in their 2v2 game for Japan.
Lewis Koo winning out. Actually 3-3 the set scores. 7-7 on the game, so they're about even. Gonna start with the minor, but perfect cards.
A little bit distance away, just a half a towel. If you were looking towards that, the minor trying to get in, and you're seeing the minor on the other end. The cards just the same. So it might just be a mirror deck to start off this game here, and we'll see if Lewis and Koo, along with Howlin' One Crown, literally serving a just about similar damage how this game unfolds.
But you've got the minor once back on the screen, but Mini P.E.K.K.A, of course, a great way to deal with that minor.
See another minor being played out here with the
poison.
offensive poison. We saw that played last time around. We'll see it again for the second rotation. We'll see that minor just going to get one hit to the tower and still continually going with all these minors, rotating fast and furious. And the offensive poison coming from Lewis and Koo, going to get much more this time around, getting the tower down under 1800. Oh, look at it. That was not going to reach there, but it does get there just in time. The guards will be here once again to defend out against the minor. And of course, we didn't see any tornadoes yet, so that's why the minors are being placed right on the outside corner. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they just want to have the cycle. That's why the Inferno Towers is randomly placed right in the middle. They just wanted to have the another cycle for that minor of their own.
That's a very
strange rocket.
Wait,
so
what?
they basically see this deck as they're going to open up with the tornado with the activating the King Tower, and only the minor damage will be hitting barely any of the time for their side, so that they actually want to finish off this tower with the rocket. Yes.
That one's not going to hit the King Tower, obviously, but now we're going to look at this. 809 for 965. This is literally no defense, just who gets the better cycle, who gets the quicker ones for these spell cycles that will come through for OG and ENTUS. And we're still looking at it now, and we'll see if the games be affected here, because it's basically losing one tower each. And what's going to happen for the second story?
And that's going to be both towers down with few minor hits, poison damage. Second one comes, this is basically the deck, and the others, most likely few structures like the Inferno Tower you saw from Lewis and Koo. Bottom, maybe Howlin' One Crown having the same exact deck here.
And we're going to get a P.E.K.K.A, not the mini P.E.K.K.A. We're going to get the absolute adult variant, and we're going to see how she does against this heavy push here. Just trying to go for the 3 crown, as you can see, being the strategy now, and we'll see if this turns out, because the log will take care of this tower on the left, and this Mega Minion will take care of the mini P.E.K.K.A. So just moving on here, trying to get the P.E.K.K.A into the end zone is what you're looking for if you are Lewis and Koo.
Yeah, taking out the Electro Wizard and doing the rocket damage to the tower. That's continuing for both teams. The others, Ice Wizard fighting against the Ice Wizard, it's just going to go on forever. Let's focus on the spells and the minors here.
Well, so it's going to be a 2 crown game. It's not going to be a 3 crown game that probably OG and ENTUS was counting on, but we are still looking towards all these continual minors and fireballs and poison just to get any type of value here.
Down to 700, that's just 2 rockets. I believe they may actually be saving.
Oh, that rocket getting the mini P.E.K.K.A. That was important.
And poison plus the minor damage, just not enough, but with the minor, that's going to win the game for Lewis and Koo here.
Yeah, that rocket into that mini P.E.K.K.A. at the end. Did wonders, and even with a double minor, did not have the speed and momentum to beat out the Japanese side. So DentonatioN Gaming with Lewis and Koo back on the lineup. It's going to take you that game 1, looking pretty good already.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the pros do in 2v2. You just send in a minor, knowing where the minor would come out. Sometimes you throw a fireball or giant snowball just to knock the others back, so the minor connects at least few shots. Having that extra damage was very important. OG and ENTUS, they were holding in their own rockets. It was close, they just needed 2, but of course the timing Timing was not perfect. They didn't have enough elixirs. They were busy defending Detonation. He just kept on going with that miner. Great control game 1.
Well, after losing 7 of the 8 matches from last week's Korea versus Southeast Asia format, and we are coming into this one with already 1 loss recorded for the best team in Korea with Kingzone, and OGN, obviously the worst team, losing just as many games as basically anyone has combined. And now coming to this second match, already losing this 1 game of the set 1, and probably what are they thinking moving forward here?
Yeah, OGN has -9 on their set game scores. Detonation Gaming, they're also 4th. Detonation Gaming, they're 4th from Japan, but -1 on their set scores. So 3 wins, 4 losses on their match. So 4th place, but very different scores and numbers of what we are talking about here. Detonation Gaming, they see how they actually took that game number 1. It seemed like they have a lot more cool, with very similar deck from both teams here.
Yeah, it seems like the 4th place teams of 2 leagues that are very, very different from each other. It seems like the major leagues from Japan and seems like a tier 3 league from Korea at the moment. That's why that 4th place from both leagues doesn't really seem like the same amount of skill level. So they're going to return back with the minor deck for losing Ku. We'll see how the 1 round does here. Seems like the same thing here, G-Clip.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more cards. Moving with the mini P.E.K.K.A. to slow down with the skeletons, but the Mega Minion actually cleans it out. Same miners, but Dark Prince here all of a sudden.
They're going to just cycle right back to Skeletons. The Skeleton's a great cycling card. For that 1 elixir, it stops things like the mini P.E.K.K.A. being brought to the table by OG and ENTUS. We'll see how this really turns up here, because all the more, it's about how quickly can you cycle that miner and also that poison in time to get the damage done. So in the meantime, Ku has a pretty good idea and already is on the lead in terms of that damage output.
Just from few miners. Unless OG and ENTUS has perfect mini P.E.K.K.A. placement all the time, miner is going to get a lot of damage. I think they only have 1 mini P.E.K.K.A. instead of 2.
Once again, looking towards this Dark Prince doing a pretty good job of negating all the damage here, and the Skeleton doing wonders for that 1 elixir, allowing all these units to move on freely here. Just cycling the log even, just trying to get any type of spell damage through here.
The first rocket of the game.
This is important. The Ice Wizard is still alive, and that's going to continue on with the defensive output. And now looking at this miner that's still continuing on, even with that rocket being sent out by the Korean team, Detonation Gaming is still winning on damage.
Yep. They've been just having better control of their miners and timing. It seemed like OGN was attacking, but miner doing a lot more for Detonation Gaming. Instead, getting the shield out so guards will still survive and do attacks, but down to 134 already.
Getting the shields out in multiple ways from both teams now, and now we are looking towards this miner doing a pretty good job. This fireball is gonna miss, and it's gonna open up the King Star with that tornado being applied here. And now you're gonna have to throw a rocket down if you are Howl and 1 Crown, but the attack has already begun on the left side for Ku.
And the Skeleton leading with the poison. Ku, they got defense, but they're already onto the 2nd tower already with the rocket leading.
They get the Electro Wizard as well, so this is very important. We're going to start with the rocket. Now cycling through on this left tower, but they're already far behind in this party here. It seems like OG and ENTUS are going to be still losing out in all the damage now.
She missed the placement with the guard and the Dark Prince finally came all the way to the back. That's the good news for OGN, buying some time here.
Now we're looking at this, the poison doing pretty good, and also all the things considered, it is still looking like a lead over to Ku and Lewis. And
but a minor lead. 1 single mistake turned everything around. There's a rocket once again. Minor.
Look at the Electro Wizard and see how long it survives to get the job done. Now we're going to see another series of Dark Prince being applied here, and the P.E.K.K.A. is going to be on the left side now for Ku to provide the ultimate defense against this miner. We'll see how long this being traveled here. The offensive poison, along with all the damage now, is going to put it in rocket range, and that should be good enough if they can get it back in on cycle pretty soon.
Miner knocked back, actually hitting onto the Electro Wizard, so they do survive. And 1 more log. Yes. It's going to be a 2-0 now. First set taken by Detonation Gaming.
So easy. I mean, it literally, when you're playing 2 of the same decks on both sides, you win 2 games in a row. That really goes to show you the outplays that are so prominent for the Korean side. That really was lacking all the way through. DentonatioN Gaming doing a great job once again to further prove to us that the Koreans, they're still not just ready for these 2v2 matches.
Yeah, these 2v2 from DentonatioN, not just from DentonatioN, from today, Japan is just outstanding. They're getting rid of all the skills that Korean teams are actually showing here. I think if they play those two decks once again, or 10 times again, let's say that I would just guess DentonatioN wins 9 times at least out of that 10 games. That's how solid they were with the rotations, having very similar cards. Even the P.E.K.K.A was basically just not required. That's why we didn't really see that drop too many times. All they had to do, cycle right cards, right moments, send in the miner, make sure it connects to the tower.
And you would think that 7 elixir cost from that P.E.K.K.A is kind of a waste of defensive efforts if you can just cycle through cheaper cards to defend against the miner every time. But even with the overspending, the overconsumption from DentonatioN Gaming, they still went out in multiple games now. 2 games in a row where they basically had the mirror matches all the way through. And they are the clear winners. And that really goes to show you that the Korean teams, especially OGN, with obviously Hal and One Crown trying to be the heroes of this team winning out in 2v2, really not coming across once again.
Well, we'll have to see on their 1v1 now, because TNT, first time it showed up, maybe a little nerves on stage got him. He did not have a win. Of course, it was 1v2, but the second time he seemed a lot more confident. And this is his 3rd time, of course, the first time in Japan overseas for him. We'll see how well he can actually play against Tempura here.
Already got the reveal on the span card. It's going to be Tornado for Tempura, and also going to be the Ice Golem for TNT. And we'll see this 1 minute of play. Obviously, neither of the teams have called the timeout so far, so we're probably going to get to see it more so in this 1v1 match that will be coming out soon, G-Cliff. So, Tempura, 6.6 trophy count. As we're looking towards most cards being played by him, it's going to be around the Infernal Dragon along with the Valkyrie and the Mega Minion. So the air unit's still definitely available with the lack of Tornado. Makes it easy to play the Lava Loon deck if you are considering that for Tempura.
Yeah, of course, totally possible. And most of the times when you have an Ice Golem ban, especially from the other regions banning against Japanese players, it is because of that 3 Musketeers. And they just line it up with that 3 Musketeers all the time. Ice Golem is a perfect tool to have it with the 1 Musketeer onto the side. And that's kind of banning the Ice Golem and the 3 Musketeer together.
And we'll see how this turns out. For TNT, having to win this game is obviously a big amount of pressure for this youngster that's really trying to do well for his team. For a team that's not doing so well, I mean, basically before he came to the line, they haven't had a single win. And finally record their first win with TNT winning out in that 1v1. So, I should just say, the first series that he made his debut on, a little bit nervous, and did lose out at the significance game 2 and 3. But the second series kind of showed us that the prominence of this player is definitely there. So we'll see if we can count on him once again in game 3.
Yeah, also Tempura from DentonatioN. He's also the young gun in the team. Let's see which team is just better at 1v1 is just all skills. It comes down to the deck choice a little bit. Let's see what we're going to see in this new meta with the live patch.
Just taking a deep breath before we start this one in. Of course, he's ready. We're all ready. And let's get this game 1 underway. DentonatioN Gaming versus OG and ENTUS. Japan versus Korea towards a Japanese favorite home ground that we're already seeing from the first matchup of the night. And against Steve TNT can really pull the strats back up to play and gotta give a thumbs up to start off this game. And we're gonna get to that. These heroes are great. Now we're starting off with the Royal Ghost and with the Bandit. He's not going to do too well against the Royal Ghost. He's not going to get the charge in. Going to need the minion support to start off this game here, G-Cliff. And we are looking towards basically an offensive poison being played out here by TNT to start off this game.
Not just the cycle, I think he maybe possibly wanted to have another dash into the E-Wizard, maybe into the tower if lucky. But the poison came a little bit late there. He's waiting for the perfect cycling for his rest of the deck as well, so not a big thing to actually have in the first beginning of the game.
Get the E-Wiz. Stop the plays here, and offensive poison coming on the other end for Tempura now. And looking at this Bandit, it's going to be charging in to its death, and none of the surviving units from TNT will make the counterattack now.
Seems like we have very low chip cycles from Tempura. What else he's holding? Is he holding one of those Hog Riders once again?
2 unrevealed cards right now. We're gonna see if Tempura are gonna be able to reveal some of them very, very soon here. And one Barbarian will get a couple of saves. Just one there, and we're gonna get the angry face from Tempura, not allowing so much in terms of counterattacks now.
Yeah, one extra to that. He had a lot of elixir saved anyhow, so might as well use it to damage minions and the tower together.
Great skeletons coming from TNT once again, but Tempura finding the defense now. Gonna get the P.E.K.K.A. into this play here. Gonna swipe away at this Royal Ghost, and gonna be charging onto this E-Wiz now, and gonna get offensive poison from the side of Tempura, and gonna be charging against a P.E.K.K.A. versus a P.E.K.K.A. and there's gonna be a heavy charge onto the left side. Even the Bandit connecting onto the Royal Ghost, with the minions still very healthy to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, now the tower's running down. He was dropped just in time.
Great skeletons once again coming in for Tempura. Just get rid of the Royal Ghost that's charging in, and we'll see a basically a reset coming into this one, but TNT getting a blunt of damage for this first rotation.
It still did about 600 damage. Another rotation coming with that battle ram once again, down chopped by that P.E.K.K.A. Dash from the Bandit. It will actually lead the P.E.K.K.A. with so much damage.
And the Bandit does a very good job against P.E.K.K.A. as long as it's left alone, and this minion will die out with this E-Wiz not going to get it zapped through with the wall coming in. So another Royal Ghost being sent out. I'm sure the skeletons will be there for Tempura. He does get it in time, and this Royal Ghost, how is going to be handled once again? The P.E.K.K.A. is summoned very late at the back of the King Star, just willing to take all that damage here.
2 swipes, 2 entire swipes, 100 damage. Already down. He does have the poison, but he's actually attacking on both sides once again.
I mean, he sees the P.E.K.K.A. summon on the left side, and gonna summon that battle ram without scaring. Gonna get all these damage here, and look at this, the minion not taking care of it. That will be the game, and good game called by TNT. Really switching up the sides now and showing us every time the P.E.K.K.A. is summoned defensively for Tempura, he will summon the battle ram on the opposing side, and does that twice, and the second time around, it's good enough to get a tower.
Yeah, sometimes if you have, against the battle ram, if you have the guards, it works very, very well. Actually takes just, if you place it right in the middle, in between, takes down the battle ram, and then the barbarians gets needed with the shield, and the shots it actually takes with the help of the Princess Tower. But did not have the perfect tool to actually defeat against it. His own P.E.K.K.A., of course, it's hard to get the P.E.K.K.A. all the way to the towers. We knew that it was going to be mostly for distractions or defensive use.
Well, I mean, look at this. It seems like Tempura's a little bit startled by how that game went upon him. It seems like he was doing well for the first few seconds of the game, but all the more as more and more minutes passed on with that game, saw TNT was completely in control, just waiting for that P.E.K.K.A. to be summoned by his opponent and really know what to do on the opposing side.
I think one of the small things that TNT actually did in that first game was he was predicting like the minions that was going to come very soon anyhow, so he was just trading with the same cards that he had in his own hand. And just reading better cycles, I think, made the difference in that first game, having small elixir lead because of those.
We'll see. Still smiles up in their faces. Seems like Destination Gaming are not too worried about that one loss. Gonna call a timeout, and we'll get that extra minute to talk about things, and we'll allow Tempura to kind of reset and just cool down just a little bit before heading into this game too, because you know, he needs one win for right now to get into that match point situation where Destination can finish off another series in 2 sets. But OG and ENTUS definitely are looking for a comeback here, winning this set 2 and getting into the King of the Hills, where obviously TNT will also create its fervor once again to see if the OG can win their second series of the season.
TNT just joined in. The first one was a 1-2. The second one against Stitch from Kicks was a 2-0. And he create another 2-0 and walk towards the path of being 1v1 God from Korea. I think we're about to see that if he actually brings one more game to himself with another 2-0 here.
We'll see if it turns out to be a good one for TNT, as his run has been very, very positive from his debut, only losing out in 2 games after his first win he got in. Coming on this second series and to win that one as well. So we are looking towards OG and ENTUS, this last hope that this team has on TNT. Wins the first game, will he win the second? Let's find out.
It's about the deck choice. The bridge spam was actually not a bridge spam, even though it could have been with the Bandit and the Battle Ram. TNT used to Just loves to run that battle ram from all the way to the back.
Look at that log not even hitting the tower. So a little bit of statement being made by TNT. I don't need the extra 84 damage to finish her off. He did that.
Yes, I can see those numbers.
TNT telling us something here we don't know.
It's new meta, Joel. When TNT does it, you have to believe it.
I mean, Tempura said, wow, he was surprised. He was quite surprised. But what just happened on that one? So, if we lose TNT, lose by 84 HP, we know what went wrong.
Yes, exactly the damage of log to the towers. Magic Archer, very hard. There's that giant goblin once again being used by the Japanese team here. Hunter placed in the middle. Not the best tool to actually go against the Royal Hogs.
Even the penetration doing very well against the Giant Goblin. That was just charging through, and the Goblin Giant, obviously when you walk so slowly and the Magic Archer pierces through your body to get the damage onto the tower, you're doing a pretty good job. So TNT getting the blood of that damage to start this game off now.
He still has a lot more choices. With the Royal Ghost, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, he wanted to have that against the Royal Ghost just in time. He didn't really have anything else to waste. If you have the guards, the shields will be broken, of course. Most of the times, at least 2 guards. He's timing that, not making his own attack. Tempura taking shots from Magic Archer though.
I know, I was just about to say that. And gonna get it again with the Goblin Giant tanking right in front of the Magic Archer and will take all the damage. Now with the Royal Hogs doing a pretty good job as well. Taking all this damage to the right side, getting down to 975. You're gonna see a heavy balloon push. Balloon push being played out by Tempura. Will it reach the tower though? The Tombstone very expertly played at the last minute. Will get nowhere close to that right tower.
Oh man, Tempura thought he had the chance by having all the princess shots to the minor. Tombstone just breaks this game right now. TNT is attacking into both of the towers at the same time. Right one seems like it's going to be very close to being destroyed.
Well, it's going to be just a big spell away. I don't know if TNT does have that big spell, but once again, the Tombstone doing a very good job of leading this balloon right back into play, and it will get the explosion with that zap being played out. The fireball being the last revealed card will do wonders to finish off the right tower. That should be it for TNT, getting a very easy game victory on this game number 2, not even needing game 3 for us to go to the King of the Hills.
Yeah, we knew that from last week's 1v1 match from TNT. We had a monster, but this guy's real. I think he is the real one from Korea, and I think he's coming up very soon to a level where we're going to actually contest against a very top tier team, 1v1 player from all regions. I think we're about to see that very soon.
Very much known as the top player in Korea, and ranked number 1 in ladder, and ranked number 5 peaked around the world is his global peak that he got. TNT, fantastic player. You know, we got to speak to him just a little bit privately and just to hear what his words on kind of this tournament was. And obviously, he finds his struggles with his team not the happiest thing to really live over, but he really wants to be the savior. He really wants to be the hero and really just to save the drought that's coming onto the OG ENTUS to get them out of that loop. And he's been doing pretty well so far. Without TNT, basically that one win wouldn't have come through last weekend. Obviously, this win, that obviously wasn't going to be the situation if anybody else from OGN played against Tempura just then, and I think it could have been the result very different for them.
Yeah, it could have been a different result where it just could have ended with a 2-0, but with that win on the 1v1, we're going to go to the first King of the Hill of tonight. It was a 2-0, first set, second set. So wonder what happens. Is it going to be TNT just staying in that roster in the first spot and destroying everyone else? Or is it going to be actually Tempura staying one more? Give me one more chance. Let me go first.
Well, I mean, it could be TNT's either coming up as number 1 or number 3. We saw the best player being played kind of flexed into different situations.
Yeah, Biggabuya usually coming in as a 3rd player of the King of the Hill, but it usually doesn't get to him sometimes.
There are varying situations where if we're looking at the best player, do they go out first? Do they go out last? It is a different look at a different strategy. So
and they have to pick the ban cards. I wonder if they are going to stick with that Ice Golem. Sometimes we just see the Elixir Collector ban or just straight up 3 Musketeer ban, because that's one of the most common thing from the Japanese region as a whole. And for Detonation Gaming, stick with the Tornado if they want to have some barrel play like we've seen before, or Poison if they really want to use that Graveyard, which pairs out okay with that Giant Goblin as well.
which three players will we see from both sides here? Because Tempura didn't look too convincing in his 1v1 endeavors against TNT. If we were to put out Tempura once again against TNT, I don't know if he will win, because it seems like rather than the mistakes that were not really the case in his loss, it was mostly just being outplayed in multiple situations. For TNT, did a wonderful job of really outthinking his opponent and just executing to very quick matters. And we'll see if this kind of affects the roster change for Detonation. We'll see if Tempura comes back out into the field, or Lewis Koo along with Pirameki will be the roster there.
Yeah, I think Pirameki is the one that's going to come out very likely for that 1v1. They play against Manong GP, very strong from Brand Esports. Won against him. Of course, against Mikabuya had a tough 0-2, but that's against Mikabuya, so let's kind of toss that aside. And he played a lot of King of the Hills, brought 3 wins, 3 losses, so that's not a bad result for Pirameki.
We'll see what Ojin is thinking about right now. I mean, I think One Crown will definitely show up. He's a fantastic 1v1 player in his own right, and TNT, why not send him out? I mean, he just won that game for you and basically sent you over to this golden opportunity to win your second series.
But what about the real problem for Ojin is the third player?
Yeah,
who do you put in? And Shaded Smokey's not here, so Q-Mills with 100%, 0% win rate, 0-0-2 on that 1v1, 3 losses in a row on that King of the Hill.
Is Q-Mills any better though?
I would say we go with Hal.
Is that it? Is that how you do it?
Yes, he has a lot better result than King of the Hill.
Certainly
a lot better. Anything's better than a 0% other than a 0%.
Probably has a 2-digit number on that one, but still probably good, better than a 1-digit number that's not even a 1. So, yeah, I mean, you do talk about Shadow Sabuki, he would have been a fantastic option to put him as the 4th player, but having Q-Mills on the lineup kind of tells us otherwise as to what Ojin is thinking at the moment.
Yeah, because Q-Mills was the basically dedicated V1 ace player for the team back in season number 1, and that is the reason why we were mentioning about Q-Mills a little bit. But season 2, oh man, it's covered in red. Lots of blood spilled, I guess.
Yeah, red is not the best color in this scenario, and I mean, Q-Mills and Hal, we're not convinced that they are good players right now, because they've been struggling all throughout the season 2 and basically all the losses that they've gotten so far.
So are you saying that we're going to have One Crown and TNT as the second and the third player for the team?
As the first and second,
as
so they don't have to get to the third player. That's the big strategy for me if I was Ojin ENTUS coach right now, because I wouldn't be trusting Hal and Q-Mills. Of course, for the team morale, you have to trust on your players, and they've been trusting in them for many, many weeks.
Maybe this is the moment where Q-Mills turns his gear on.
It doesn't work that way, is it?
To next level gear, from gear 1 to 5 all of a sudden. RPM to 7,000.
That's when the car breaks. When you try to go from gear 1 to gear 5 all at the same time, that's when the car breaks. That's when Hal breaks, okay? I don't want my Hal breaks. And you know, we'll want to see him get better over time, but you know, as you do mention, G-Clev, it's not the best case scenario for Ojin ENTUS. They're literally fighting 2v3 in the scenario versus Detonation game.
Yeah, for Detonation, you can literally have anyone from the roster. They only have 4, but that's just enough if you can just have 3 players who can play 1v1 pretty solidly on stage and have a dedicated 2v2. I think that's exactly why they just have this roster for the season 2. Usually we have a lot more members in the roster. We even have to have up to 6-man rosters from Southeast Asia, but it's not required when you have this good of a roster for the team. I
mean, Lewis Koo, they're dedicated 2v2 players for this team, but they're fantastic at 1v1. We've seen them many, many times do splendid in these King of the Hill scenarios, and also in season 1 when they came out for these 1v1 matches, they've done well in that one as well. So, I mean, look at this. I mean, Lewis and Koo, and Pirameki out, and that seems like the perfect roster for me right now. Even Tempura can come out, and no one would complain.
Yeah, it's up to them to guess who's going to come up first. Is it going to be Q-Mills or Hal first, or are they going to be the last ones? I think that's the big question that Detonation had to send when they were selecting players.
Yeah.
We're about to see the players and the band card.
Who is it? I told you! No, actually, Q-Mills is number 2. Uh-oh.
So having a little bit of a break.
Yeah, just...
Sorry, Q-Mills. I just had to drop that down. But
you dropped the bomb on that
Lewis, Pirameki, and Tempura, who lost to TNT.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that TNT never actually faces him because they're on the opposite side. But if TNT beats all of them...
Look at the bands coming through. The Tornado band from the side of Detonation and the Golden band by the side of TNT. Because, you know, I've met TNT personally. I talked to him a lot about his preferences on decks, and he really likes the Golem decks. He really likes Golem Beatdown, and to ban that out.
Well, he did not even play that Golem too many times, and he's still very good.
Yeah.
I think he was concerned about the opponent a lot more. Tempura not really learning too many Golems. Only 3 of the games in the 1v1.
So the Golem being banned out, we'll see what it means for OG and ENTUS for what they're going to bring. We didn't see the Elite Giant. The Elite Giant, what am I saying? The Royal Giant.
Elite Giant Royal Barbarians?
Yeah,
yes.
something like that, yeah. It goes along that line, but, you know, the Elite... No, not the Elite... It's the Elite Barbarian, the Royal Giant. I keep getting confused. These are
Elite.
I remember, I always connect those two because they are the most annoying cards in the entire game. Everybody hates them if you're in the kind of mediocre parts of the ladder and you find level 13 Elite Barbarians, you find level 13 Royal Giants, and you know the game is going to be GG right after you just kind of give up and just go back to your home screen and do whatever you want on the side, but...
Never do that on TV2, please.
Sure.
But we're talking about 1v1.
But now you get penalized. If you do quit in the middle of the game, you can't report them and you will have a...
It's been like that for some time now, but...
Yeah.
We'll see if that Elite Royal Flying Giant ever comes out.
Oh,
even worse if it's flying.
No. That's too much for me. I can't handle all that.
How about the Giant Miner?
You
It
know,
goes through the ground.
I know video games are supposed to relieve you of your stress, but you know, having those cards in the game just kind of induces more stress for me personally. I'm not a big fan, but the Royal Giant being buffed is the big story. Whether it's a buff or a nerf, it's a differing opinion on to many people out there in the Clash community, but we will see if this really comes out in this game right here, because 1v1, we didn't see the Royal Giant. We didn't even see the Barbarian Barrel for many of these games, so we'll see if this changes here for the King of the Hills. We're going to see a lot of 1v1s to decide the winner here.
Because they just got to see the new ban cards. They had all 3 minutes to build their deck. Seems like he's almost over taking all the decks. Seems like Tornado, because he actually had a Tornado ban last game, he's not really concerned too much about that at all. I think it mostly due to the other players, Q-Mills and One Crown, who should be thinking about that Tornado ban.
And we'll see how they're affected by the plays here, G-Cliff, because after TNT winning out, they're really counting on him to win as many games as he can, because before it reaches on to Q-Mills and along with One Crown, they want to face as least as many opponents as they possibly can. So 10 more seconds left to go. We will see if the side of Detonation Gaming will be able to handle out the pressure that is TNT and the explosive forces that he has.
Yeah, that's an emotional thought they're going through their mind right now, so shaky before they go into the game.
You do say that. It's an artistic camera work, if I have to say for myself. Very expressive. And we'll see what TNT can do against Lewis. Lewis is a fantastic 1v1 player in his own right. So against the best player in Korea, how will this player do? Lewis versus TNT to start off this King of the Hill between Detonation Gaming and OG and ENTUS.
King of the Hill, to explain again, you play one game, you lose, you go back to your seat, next player comes up. And if your team takes 3 strikes, you lose the entire set.
Do that until you lose all your players. That's the easiest way of explaining and understanding King of the Hills. But Lewis almost lost his E-Wiz, but it's not going to die to the Fireball, as we all know. But pretty slow start for all these players now. TNT is summoning out the Rascals. We'll see what he has up in the hand.
Again, the Rascals. Maybe we're expecting some Bandit play once again. He has been playing a lot of Bandits.
Yeah, lock baits. And I mean, talking about bridge spam. It's so prevalent.
Yeah, with the Battle Ram, but this time switches off to the Miner.
Block it up very well by Lewis with the Ice Storm, but will take a lot of damage, and it's going to force another 4 elixir investment by Lewis to get the E-Wiz back out to play. Okay, it's the Mortar Miner deck.
Which is one of his favorite cards, of course. Played so well with the Rascals. It should have been expecting there's the log.
Ice Golem will be able to take the damage in, so that's going to be a pretty good defense for Lewis to start things off. That Mortar getting very little of the damage, and Lewis is still going to be ahead pretty well on this elixir count.
just enough to get the distraction. Or will be really hard to get the straight shots to the tower. It's possible.
Oh, he missed the E-Wiz just a little bit on that one, trying to get all 3 of the Spear Goblins, but he's going to miss out on 1, so it takes a little bit of hit
There's
from
a
the Miner.
graveyard, but he's got the Goblin Gang, so he has to drop the poison, delete anything's on top.
The Rascal Girls will be fine, so will not be affected by its poison, so gets a pretty good defense on the side of TNT, only losing a couple hundred.
Yeah, just out of the poison zone.
Yeah.
Great placement there. All the range from the skeletons. This Ice Golem actually walks straight to the left, so Lewis has to bring a few more to the left side.
I see the E-Wiz retarget this mortar onto himself, so this Miner's going to get all the chip damage in the world, but it seems like that's going to be it for the push coming from TNT, and we're going to see another graveyard with the poison being laid right on top of this Rascal Girl, so the Goblin Gang will have a freer time this time around just to move around the poison. Will still die out, but it's a pretty good defense now once again. The Bomb Tower is going to be the last reveal card to go up against this mortar once again, so bad news if you're TNT going to this one.
A lot of damage on the left side though. TNT actually distracted so well by having all the units onto the right side. Lewis, he tried, but he did not have the perfect units or the elixirs because he was using that right after that graveyard poison.
Cycling so quickly right now, and the guards will be here to guard up against this Miner, and tower's gonna be down to 564. This mortar is still well on its attack, and it's not gonna reach the tower for the meantime. And we're gonna see once again TNT cycle very, very quickly to his next mortar very soon.
564. He's got Fireball plus lots of logs, and all he has to do is defend against his graveyard perfectly. He has his bats. Once the poison actually not being dropped by Lewis this time.
Yeah, not gonna have enough elixirs now. Just gets the 4 elixir that will be needed to get the job done. So 308 down to 224. Another big Miner being supplied out. The bats are not taken care of here, and the poison is not even required here because it seems like the dab, along with the fireball, is gonna bring the first win over to TNT. And obviously, this is what you want if you were OG and ENTUS, for TNT to knock out as many opponents as he possibly can. Gets the first one out. It's not gonna be waiting for the second one.
And with this Miner Rascals model, there's not many straight up counters against this deck. It's very cheap, fast cycle, so you just need quick hands, understanding the cycle, reading the cycle, just having the perfect placement of the cards every single time is the most effective way of going against this one. It's basically cheap damage over time.
And it was a little bit surprising to me that the Bomb Tower wasn't placed a little bit earlier. I think it's a pretty good counter against the mortar, has decent amount of HP, and will just knock away the mortar, along with the surrounding units like the Rascal Girls that was going to be just hugging the mortar for defense. So, and we saw it revealed at the very end though, but it was a surprise for all of us, but why not send it a little bit earlier? That would have been, I think, better defense for Lewis to send things out.
Yeah, I think at that moment he was actually thinking about putting that down, but once he puts it down, he had basically no elixir to do another type of defense on the left side, and the bats were actually onto your own tower, doing straight damage. So having that thought for 0.2 seconds or 0.3 seconds actually cost him a lot more than he should have got in that game. We do have Pyrameki from Detonation this time.
First appearance for him on the day. Had to be that 4th player just waiting for Tempura to fight things out, and did not get the best result in that 1v1. Now it's going to be waiting on the sidelines once again for his 3rd placement if Pyrameki does lose out against TNT once again. So Pyrameki, a formidable 1v1 player as we always know him of. So we'll see how he does against TNT because he's been basically unstoppable by all these Japanese players that trying to challenge him.
Yeah, Pyrameki, he has been using a lot of that Royal Hog. And TNT should know because that was basically the most played deck from Pyrameki all the time on that 1v1. And we have the bans on the Tornado, so maybe keep that Fireball, switch off into another your defense into both lanes, which is what he does best when he attacks at the same time. So TNT should be ready. Pyrameki, does he change it up this time, bring something else? I think that's the real question when we only have a single game between these two players.
Graveyard deck not good enough to beat out TNT in that game 1 of this King of the Hill. We're going to go into game 2 to see what Pyrameki had brought out to challenge the Korean Giant. And TNT basically unstoppable today, winning 3 1v1s in a row now. Going for his 4th one now.
Yeah, the common from Pyrameki, we're expecting a lot of the 3 Musketeers and the Royal Hogs. Sometimes even combined in one deck.
That's a great deck actually. It's been used very much in Grand Challenges, and you can level that up. Have the luxury of leveling your Royalhawks down to 13. That's a great scenario, but we'll see what Pyrameki does. Of course, everything down to tourney standard in CRO Asia, and we'll see kind of all this silence that's really been provoking. Now it's going to break it with the Royal Ghost. It's going to be TNT to start things on. Lava Hound for Pyrameki.
Yeah, no tornado. I think he just brought in the deck. But a Bandit getting a dash with no response. It seems like he wants to focus on his own attack only.
Bridge spam, once again, TNT's favorite. Now it's going to be charging onto this left side, knowing that TNT doesn't have too many elixirs to deal with, and he's going to get the shots coming in, and the defense will be pretty good for the side of TNT, but looking at this Lava Hound will not be good enough, and look at this balloon dropping 2 hits, now almost getting the 3rd, and still get the death damage to bring it down to 306.
Pyrameki, he was willing to make that sacrifice from the Bandit. That was a lot more. TNT does have a Zap and Electro Wizard just enough to stop that balloon. But the main problem will be that Lava Hound doesn't have something like an Inferno Tower.
You can see that Pyrameki just taking a deep breath. You can see how nervous he is going up against Korea's best player, and gonna summon the second Lava Hound, kind of counting on its fact that a 306 will probably be taken care of by a series of spells. So Pyrameki is starting off his right side push with this Lava Hound. We'll see what we get though. Let's see this spell coming in from the Battle Ram on the left side. We'll take care of it. Almost gets the charge in, but just gonna give up the left tower now.
Yeah, he wants to go for that second round already. Balloon takes delayed by the Electro Wizard, takes a lot of poison damage, gets one drop.
The one drop will get the death damage, and this Lava Hound will now explode, going with the lava puffs, and I gotta get the sap in so that the clearance will be a little bit faster this time around. Now looking towards another push onto this right side. This Ewiz not taken care of still, and now going with all the attacks onto this right side. We'll see what happens here. Good fireball, getting pretty good value, and it's gonna lose the second tower almost, so if he didn't send that cards out, that would have been trouble.
Just in time against all the barbs pushing, but the left one still stands. 306. Does have a fireball, but needs a little bit more. Plus the Zap, he needs another source of damage there.
Oh, the Ewiz will be good enough, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Just in time with the minions.
Oh my word. TNT is unmoved by that play, as if he was expecting that play to come off, and I don't think anybody expected it. Even Pyrameki, you can see how surprised he was that the damage did not go through, and that balloon, it's so slow, and wow.
That reflection was way too fast. He must have been predicting the balloon to come down because he had nothing else. As I was saying, Fireball Zap is not enough. So anything else was required to actually bring it down to the time limit. Balloon had to be the source. He having a good read on that game.
You can even see the 3 guys from the OGN's booth really looking towards TNT. I was like, oh my gosh, you're really good at this game.
Oh my god, he's so good, and I don't even have to play.
Oh, that's a great luxury if you want to be the King of the Hill.
If you're Q-Mills right now, yes.
I mean, if you're looking towards TNT and say
you are the King of the Hill. He's picking up the water for him.
Hey, it's when the older brother gets you the water bottle. That's a great feel moment right there.
Good going. Just one more game, please.
Yeah, one more game. Yeah, you just do everything for us. We'll get you dinner nice afterwards, and great dinner here in Japan, by the way. Yes. Oh man, and this is Tempura. The guy that lost clearly and convincingly against TNT for 2 games in a row. Now on a 4-game win streak today for TNT, looking like he's on fire. And
he's looking like God at the moment.
Yeah.
I knew he was good from the first few games. First match was his first time on the stage. Let's toss over that, but he was still good with the game that he controlled. Second match, even with the deck he was countered against, that was crazy. Tempura is the one being challenged right now.
Look at Pyrameki just sitting down, thinking about what just happened. I lost, and I don't think I should have lost. And
it was a close game.
It was a close game, and to his advantage, I mean, he had the right deck. It wasn't a losing deck. That could have been very much a winning deck. Lava Loon going up against Bridge Cam is usually very good when you're talking about TNT. Usually not being able to counter that on a conventional deck, but oh man, Pyrameki is going to have a hard time sleeping on that one tonight.
And then, because OG and ENTUS, this is quite rare to have a timeout during King of the Hill, because it's often used before that time for 1v1.
And off of a win.
Yes,
You have
because
a
TNT
timeout.
was having a 2-0. They didn't need a timeout yet.
Yeah.
I think it's actually giving a minute of break for TNT.
Sure. I mean, he literally played 4 games of 1v1 in a row
Yes.
competitively and about to play a 5th one, and it looks like he about to just full clear the side of Detonation Gaming, now in the story of the making.
And he's got the magic water. Magic water from Q Mills. You don't even need hands to drink water, man.
Oh, man. I mean, when your teammate feeds it for you, you're saying,
Yes.
thank you very much, and I'll win this game next game for you. That's what TNT is saying right now. This youngster just literally turned of age, being able to eligibly play Clash Royale League Asia just a few weeks ago. And now we're coming into this week. This game 3 of this King of the Hill. This is game 3, not in terms of even terms. It is completely one-sided. TNT taking this game by the horns.
And Tempura, he needs to win 3 straight. He wants to bring the win for his team. It is possible, but TNT looks very dominant right now. That is certainly not an overstate.
Tempura lock bait. I can sense it right in my bones. And I don't see the miner being played out. I don't see the
Hawk Cycle pop.
This is a Hawk Cycle, yeah, it could be. 2.6 Hawk Cycle, but with the lock variant, sometimes we do see the zap, but it is going to be 2.6. And now look at the Prince. Let's see what happens here. Going to get 1 swing. That's about it. And Tempura will probably get back to the skeletons to go up against this Prince. And
exactly the meta Hawk Cycle that we have seen in weeks. And weeks TNT does have a lot more damage done to the tower already with the miner on the Giant.
okay, what is this deck? TNT, would you care to explain? And
Giant Prince with the variation with the miner in this case, but Hog Rider not dealt with at all.
This Mega Minion is going to be trouble, trouble, trouble. That Mega Minion is going to do so much damage, and look at that. 727 with the miner still alive. He has billion HP that he's standing with right now.
And also, Tempura did a lot with that Hog Rider, just got the log damage, and was not able to do 1 more hit. So that's a lot of racing damage into both towers.
You're going to see the Hog Rider be the main win condition for Tempura, but he's already taken so much damage onto the right side now, and going to have the Ice Spirit. He's going to do chip damage, just about 100, a little bit less than that, and we're going to see this Hog Rider just moving through here. Going to get 1 swing, going to get a 2nd, that'll be it, but down at 595. You're now just evening towards this counter push that's heavily coming from the left side. Tempura, what do you do with this?
Real push. It's actually on the right damage. That's going to be a tower down very soon. Giant still walks with the fireball, even more.
Yes, quickly.
Skeleton just enough.
Gonna quickly cycle back to those skeletons for the Prince to retarget, and good fireball coming in from the side of Tempura just to negate the E-Wiz just a little bit away. And this miner once again do a very good job. Just going to get countered away, and it's going to get very little damage done onto this tower down to 151. It's only 1 fireball away on both sides, and Tempura is going to save it. Just going to let the Hog Rider do the talking. Gets that 130 remaining HP on the left side. Now we see a Prince Giant coming in from the right.
With that Hog Rider used on the left, now attacking the King Tower, was that really required? Let's see, because this real push is happening, and Tempura, he used the fireball once again here. And he can't really make his own attack. That's a big problem because of that.
Double Giant now being played here with the miner doing a very good job of negating out towards this Musketeer. We'll get the damage done. And look at that. Oh no, this is bad. The Musketeer is going to be dying to the Prince right away. And this is bad, bad situation. So far behind in terms of Elixir. You see so many units for TNT, yet it's still ahead on Elixir.
That was a tough moment, Tempura. He wanted to do the damage as fast as he can. Skeletons delaying the Prince really well, but
that Musketeer placement really might hurt him later on here, and that 1 log doing a very good job, and this Ice Golem's not going to survive for very long, just trying to cycle as quickly as he can.
And gets deleted. What's after this log? He does have the Ice Spirit.
Oh.
Princess. I mean, Prince, double Prince here now.
This is double Prince in the worst of ways, and look at this cannon, obviously not going to stand for very long. It's going to die to the stab.
Yeah, look how Tempura's just defending on his own side this entire time.
He has no chance to summon his Hog Rider.
Giant punch, 2. And a 3rd one now.
That's it?
4th.
Fireball.
And with the fireball, that's going to be game TNT.
Oh my god.
He's going to have a 3-man 3-man streak
He did
win here.
He did it. No, he won. That's it. TNT, you're a god. You're absolutely a dominator. A Terminator, if I will. I mean,
Exterminator as well.
Put all the famous movies out there where they exterminate the enemy, and TNT is right on with them.
Wow. What a literal god here. Clash Royale's skills prove that you're good. When you have that quick of a hand to reflex against the balloon like that in game 2, and then basically spam giant because you're winning so hard, you know that you're going to win with that Prince. Well, Tempura, he was having a lot of those skeletons to delay the Prince and having the cannons, but they were all getting deleted so fast.
What we saw in that game 3 was quite literally Tempura literally playing with lower level cards. That's what it seemed like. It's our typical ladder story where we come in with obviously level 10 or
There's
11
no
units and full level 13 units from TNT side. That's what it seemed like.
Well, it's all level 9s to me on that screen right now. And
oh man,
that was a big... The moment Tempura actually lost that Musketeer to the Prince,
yeah, that's
having the placement, I think we all kind of knew, and TNT also knew at the moment, I can just spam this because I have so much of a lead there. Musketeer actually got deleted by the Prince Lance there.
He literally just got 4 elixir lead right off of that free 4 elixir donation from Tempura and TNT. He knew he wasn't going to let that go. He was going to take that by the horns and win that in the easiest of manners. And just gave me that little smirk after that game. Well, let's see what he has to say from his interview.
Congratulations, TNT.
いや実際今の試合を終えていかがですか?
지금 승리 소감 한번 얘기해 주시겠어요?
How does it feel to take the win here?
평소 실력이 잘 나와서
I was able to play just like a normal game.
実力が発揮されてて、それで勝利したと思います。
かなり我々日本人から見ると本当に落ち着きのある選手だと思っているんですけれども、表情を変えないというか緊張はなされないんですか?
되게 차분하게 보이는데 그렇게 포커페이스를 유지하는데 긴장하거나 그렇진 않은지.
Is it because that you're nervous? First time when I played, I was actually nervous on stage. But after that moment, not really.
時は結構緊張したんですけど、今日は大丈夫でした。
なるほど。TNT 選手の強さっていうのはどこにあるんでしょうか?
TNT 선수의 강점은 어디에 있다고 생각하세요?
What do you think your strengths are as a player?
여러 개의 덱을 다 쓸 수 있다는 게 장점인 것 같습니다.
I think my strength is that I can use a lot of different decks.
切り替えて使える点が私の強みだと思います。
なるほど。今回ね、3人をしっかり打ち倒して勝利を収めたと思うんですけども、OGN エンタスにとってかなりね苦しい時期もあったと思うんですが、TNT 選手が入ったことでよりね強くなっていくというか、いいチームになったと思うんですが、そういうところいかがですか?
오늘 3명 다 이렇게 승리하셔서 OGN 팀도 힘든 시기가 있었지만 TNT 선수가 들어옴으로써 되게 좋은 점도 있다고 생각하는데 그 점에 대해서는 어떻게 생각하시는지?
You coming into the team, do you
맞는
think
말인 것 같아요.
you actually
TNT 選手自分が入ってきて OGN가 強いチームになったと思います。
何かメンバーに対してアプローチしてるものとかあるんですか? もっとこうした方がいいですか? TNT 選手から他の選手に対しては何かありますか?
다른 선수한테 이렇게 충고를 한다거나 이렇게 하는 게 좋겠다고 하는 그런 충고 같은 게 있으신가요?
To your teammates at all?
지금 생각이 잘 안 나요.
I can't really think of any answers right now on the stage.
思い出さないということで。
なるほど。あまりっていうことはそこまでチームメンバーへの指摘っていうのはなかったというところですね.
그러면은
大丈夫ですよ.
그렇게 팀 멤버에 관해서는 뭐 지적할 거라거나 이런 건 없으신가요?
You don't have anything to say about your
우리 팀
teammates?
선수들이 좀 더 게임을 많이 했으면 좋겠어요.
I wish they play a little more. I wish they play.
게임을してほしいっていう
I'll try to filter this one, but I can't. I wish they play more games.
Practice and get good is what he's saying.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God,
And look at the other members behind him right
다음
now.
시합에 대한 다짐 같은 게 있으시면 한마디 해주세요.
And final words, going into the next match.
평소 실력이 잘 나왔으면 좋겠습니다.
I wish I could just play like with my basic skills on the stage.
He just wants to play as normal. I mean, just whenever he does practice, and whenever he practices, whenever he does his normal game, not competitively, he's on the top of his level, and he just wants his teammates to follow up.
Oh, that was a big shout out.
Woo!
Well, I thought he didn't want to say anything, but he said it.
I mean, the youngster just shouting out to the big boys, practice, practice. You guys need to stop slacking off and just actually start practicing. Oh my word. Big words coming from TNT, literally dropping the bomb on that one.
Yeah, he's a TNT.
You know, and it's fine. You know, but he can say whatever he wants. I believe
yes,
that the rest of the members of OG and ENTUS will literally bowing down to TNT, the youngster, and will say, we will do whatever you want.
They should literally like cut everything for him and feed him.
Yeah.
Not just the water on stage. Like the steaks, all the pork cutlets they're gonna get in Japan. Wow. TNT, he just has to sit and play Clash Royale and feed him when he's playing Clash Royale.
Do not let TNT touch that spoon, because it's going to be all up to your teammates to do all the feeding and just allowing
all the finger muscle should be used for Clash Royale only.
OGN gets the second series win. That's happy news for all of us, guys, but that's going to be it for our second series. We're going to be coming back with the last series of the night, so another short break. We'll be right back.
Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome back, guys, to Zero Asia Season 2. And we're back with the third series after OGN picks up another win. And they are supposed to be the worst team in Korea, but so far, they're the only ones who wins. I mean, past the 2 weeks so far, and it's basically everybody else losing from Korea, and it seems like OGN is the only team winning.
I guess picking up one of the best players in the world is certainly working out for the team, yes. You win that 1v1 every single time. King of the Hill, then you just have to win the match. It doesn't matter what you get from 2v2. But let's move on to the third game, GameWith here. Having Amaterasu, Hero, Zeros, and Shun. Like Shun will be the benched player today.
He'll be the fourth player, so in case they go to the King of the Hills, he will be available for them. And they're going to be going up against OP Gaming, a team with mixed results. And it's really tough to make of is this team actually really good, or are they just really kind of overhyped about everything? Because it seems like sometimes they look really good, sometimes they look really bad. So
yeah, especially the two TVs on the team.
Yeah,
their 1v1, very mixed result. It depends on one day they would just have 2 zeros, and then on another day they would just have a 0-2.
Right. Exactly.
So, same for King of the Hill. One day they would have to at least have 2 wins and then go down, but suddenly just having. And one other day, they would just have 2 straight losses. So 2 TVs in the team, certainly making lots of difference in the results. Let's see what happens against GameWith today.
Well, we're only going to have one of the TVs today. Jin TV is going to be in that 1v1 set, while kind of Dabong is going to be away from the bench itself. So we're going to have Uchan and Sungwon be the 2v2, banning out the Poison. We're going to have the classic bans this time around for that 2v2 with Amaterasu and Yuhiro going to be banning out the Tornado. Zeros is going to be back on that 1v1 set, banning out the Tornado, and Jin TV is going to be banning out the Magic Archer. It's an interesting ban from this Jin TV, and see what he makes of it.
Yeah, one of the lowest banned rate in the entire world, not just in Asia. With all the other regions combined, you don't really see that Magic Archer be banned. For 1v1 specifically, you can see it, I think, just once in that 2v2 last season. Quite rare. It just shows that how good of a player Zeros is with that Magic Archer.
We will see with Zeros what he can do, because his first appearance in his debut wasn't the greatest.
No, not at all.
I mean, getting a little bit better over time, so hopefully it is good enough that he can beat out Jin TV. But in case he does lose, Shun will be available to come up for that King of the Hills.
Certainly.
Kind of barring the situation that Amaterasu and Yuhiro is probably going to win in this 2v2, like we saw basically with every other 2v2 players in Korea not doing as well compared to Japan.
Yeah, but when they actually when they went against the Japanese teams only, this duo, Yuhiro Amaterasu only playing against Konos, DentonatioN. Usually it's Shun and KK doing a lot of 2v2s for the team, and Shun's at bench. Of course, it's gotta mean we're having another duo here against Uchan and Sungwon. It's kind of a similar story. They're not newest with the pair up, but they're 2v2. Very mixed results, and these two especially a little on the downside, you can tell from the numbers.
Yeah, losing record. It's the easiest way to put it. I mean, Uchan 2-6, and all along with Sungwon having a 0-3 record line. So
if you put them together, what does that become?
That becomes more of a losing.
But negative times negative, it's a positive.
It's negative plus a negative. That makes it more negative. We gotta do the plus and the addition of our negatives in. Going back to our 7th grade roots.
Can't you multiply them
though?
though?
No, let's not multiply. It doesn't make it positive. They're just bad. I mean, they've never been good. So hopefully, you know, we can get the multiplication in there. You know, if you did get a plus sign and you just rotate it down 45 degrees, it becomes a multiplication sign. So, you know, maybe we can get the magic to work out, but OP Gaming needs a lot more than magic for them to really kick things back up and do well, because they've lost 2 matches of their own recently.
Yeah. We'll see as 2 most common bans, Tornado Poison. We'll see a lot of the common ones we've seen from the other weeks as well, but let's see if GameWith actually comes out with some cheese at the end, like surprise balloon from time to time, or a barrel.
Well, it's going to be the Royal Hogs for China and someone to begin this game off. We're going to start off with EWIS on the right, with
no
the Mega Minion on the left.
So far, maybe it's just a cycle. Giant Skeleton.
Oh, we're going to get the Royal Giant. And they're going to have the Infernal Tower. We know what this does when you look at the Royal Giant.
Nice
that's lovely. And the Royal Giant now connects. And the longest there for the Rascal Girls. And this is game over. This is game over. This is literally tower gone.
It's basically a fireball every single time that Royal Giant hits on the tower.
That's it. That's tower gone.
52 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they have a bomb tower. As if we were worried. Yeah, this is looking bad for China and someone. I wouldn't say they're going to win this one.
The best thing that happened for OP Gaming in the first minute was that their princess survived for 35 seconds.
Come on.
That is like the one thing that I can pinpoint.
Bomb tower again? Well, this time, but they're just going to go with the guards.
A witch onto the right, so...
Playing a big push right now.
Oh, I have the big push with the giant skeleton that could just pop up right next to that mortal placement.
The mortar, along with Inferno Tower, are going to be their choices. And they're going to get the fireball onto the princess, but obviously we're looking towards this mortar that will now go down. What do they have for this?
Yeah, mortal, after you lose a tower, you have a worse of a situation.
Oh, that's painful to watch.
5-3-5.
This,
and again, the princess survives, Joel.
This is the feels. This is the feels when I play in a ladder match and I feel the Royal Giant. I know it hurts to the bones. And oh my goodness, a Yuri and Amaterasu, it's very much in the lead, to say the least.
Yes. Nice minor placement this time. She dodges the Valkyrie, but gets taken out with 200 damage plus. Still 1,300 to go onto the left side.
Yeah.
I would say just focus the Royal Hogs onto one, but it's really tough when you're about to lose your own tower again.
You know they're going to have the bomb tower ready to go every single time.
So many skeletons on top. Double that Infernal Dragon, or the Infernal Dragon and the Baby Dragon.
They're going to get one shot coming in from the Royal Giant. That is more than good enough here. And get the Giant Skeleton to explode, and the death damage will affect no one. And 8 Royal Hogs all going to be dragged in for the massive bomb tower effect. That value is huge. It got 10 elixirs of
Look at Amaterasu. He's actually having so much fun playing this game because it's 2-0 on that crown count in this game.
I mean, when you send in 8 pigs down to one side, and it gets bombed away. That is a situation where GameWith is going to be very, very happy with, and it seems like an intentional surrender from the side of OP Gaming.
Well, the moment you know that you don't have the right cards, after you drop one tower, and an instant timeout from the team, by the way, right after that. So oh man, we need some... We need an extra minute to heal our brain from that first game,
the staff is telling the players from OP Gaming to take their headsets off. They're not even looking at them right now. They're only looking at the screen, just trying to make the most
out of
that extra minute.
He's having so much fun.
Oh, he's having a blast. I mean, you can just imagine what's going through his mind right now, literally.
But that was an easy game. Let's try this Let's try the sparky one next time.
The Royal Giant is OP. Let's play it every time. And I think they will, and I don't think they will lose, because maybe OP Gaming need to play the Royal Giant just a little bit, because it is the most OP card right now after that change. Yep. I'm saying it right now.
A lot of the damage. They can have a lot more structures, which they didn't have at all in the first game. They can be bringing some of that, and a few air units. I think that can help a lot if they want to bring back the second game.
Come on, they even had the mortar, and it still couldn't stop it.
It is not the best. It is actually one of the worst structure to have against Royal.
It will take up a lot of hits though. I mean, it has a lot of HP. So my point is just saying that a Royal Giant is just OP right now. It's so OP.
Have a Royal Giant of your own. That's the best.
That's literally
the
what
best move.
If you feel like you've been countered by an OP deck, use that deck. Why not?
And some Inferno Dragons of your own, so to bring that monster down.
Even the Inferno Tower is not even the best counter to the Royal Giant anymore. Not anymore.
Because they have the skeletons always, and the Death Bomb will just take the tower out.
Yeah.
And in that time, Giant having straight shots, straight cannon shots onto the tower. That's what happened in the first minute of the game of Crown for GameWith.
You can put that Inferno Tower on the same time as the Royal Giant is stepping in and trying to melt it down, and having that one zap on the other side. Just makes it literally worthless.
That's spell down. 2 more elixirs cost.
Hey, you know what? I'm just saying right now, the Royal Giant needs to kind of be reverted back. Not to its old form, obviously, but has 60% damage. It's too much.
Maybe.
I think it is.
We'll have to see. We got the zoom on GameWith going in. Maybe they're going to have the streak keep on going the second game, because that will be the end of set 1.
Well, you know, if the top ranked player right now in ladder has the Royal Giant deck and it's dominating the ladder, that tells you there's a little bit of problem here and there.
Well, that's 1v1. Talk about 2v2 and then switch to Golem and the Lava Hound responds.
So no Royal Giant this time around, so we're gonna get the Witch actually to play along with this Lava Hound coming in from Lee Chan and someone, and see how this affects the plays here. The Skelly Barrel is gonna be the scenario against all this massive skeleton damage.
Yes, and then there's a random Lumberjack in the middle. The Rage should be coming down very soon.
Good lightning.
Also, the Baby Dragon's getting the Rage.
Flying Machine is still alive though, that's a problem, and if you are looking towards Yuri Matsuratsu, you're gonna have the Mega Minion tanking for all these lava pups. We'll do a pretty good job of it, and we're gonna get the Miner now. We're gonna get to start on the chip damage, and we'll get more damage than the Golem did all to that tower.
Yeah, basically. And Baby Dragon, this Lumberjack did a lot to the Golem as well. And this time, Wu Chen and Changwon got better type of defense. This time, the Night Witch, they got their own big push coming soon.
We'll see what happens from all of this, and it seems like the Night Witch this time will be the rotation instead of the normal Witch, and the Magic Archer, which wasn't banned out, so you're gonna get the Fireball. Very nice value to get a little bit of the Night Witch along with the entirety of the Magic Archer. Now we're gonna get the Lava Hound to explode even before it reaches the tower, and now we're gonna get this Golem to go all the way to this Tombstone. Gonna get this explosion of the Skelly Barrel, which will be taken care of by the Giant Snowball, and get this Miner to sneak in, trying to put in some additional chip damage, and this Baby Dragon fight will be won out by GameWith, and it's gonna force another Skelly Barrel out.
That's the cleanup. Pretty nice timing on that Snowball. Perfectly timed. Sometimes you actually have early spells used against that Skelly Barrel. Lumberjack from GameWith. Seems like they wanted to pair that up with the Golem, but not this time. As in a defensive way against the Skeleton.
That was a very heavy investment actually, just trying to go for the skeleton that was landing in front of the Skelly Barrel, and gonna get the Lightning, is not gonna get the Infernal Dragon. Now we're gonna get the Clone up to play here. We'll see how everything is even. Arrows. Wonderful. That's it. Game over. If you have a clone deck and you're faced against the arrow counter.
And now the counter comes directly at your face. There's a fireball.
Yeah.
Magic Archer's gone.
Oh, you have a clone of your own. Do they have an arrow? Does each have someone have an arrow? I don't think they do.
They have a Baby
That's
Dragon,
it.
but that's not enough. Snowball.
That was
10 seconds left in the game.
Came too late. And Yurihiro and Matsuratsu, as if we didn't believe in them already, they make the Korean teams look like absolute amateurs in terms of winning 2 games in a row. Look how much damage they have taken to the tower.
I think OP Gaming was a little too early. Not too early because they got their setup after the Lumberjack saying, okay, they don't have a Rage. So this is the moment where we actually go straight. They wasted that Lumberjack, so this is our chance. They went all in.
Yeah, I mean...
For a good reason, of course. And there was no error before that moment.
Sure.
Yes.
But once they saw the 3 elixirs being popped from the King's Tower, they go, whoo!
Suddenly,
everything.
40 units on the ground.
Yeah, 40 units. I think that was about the approximate number. Yeah.
So many skeletons and the pups.
Yeah.
together. That was insane, but one single spell.
It breaks your heart, really. If you're OP Gaming looking at that arrow and just seeing 40 units that you have worked so hard to invest to create, just disappear in the puff of the air.
And then a counter attack with the clone that you just used, which thought you...
And we didn't have an arrow to counter.
It was a tough moment, and the golem was actually standing until the King's Tower. I think they could have got the King's Tower if they had 10 more seconds.
I believe so.
They had the Inferno Dragon locking onto the King Tower as well.
It breaks my heart. It really does. And OP Gaming, they were defeated in the extent of that term and the definition of that word. And going to 1v1 and thinking Zeros versus Jin TV. I don't know how much of a believe in Jin.
This one I actually do not know what the result.
Okay.
You
have your faith. You have your faith in OP Gaming.
Somewhat, because to me, Zeros was not the strongest 1v1 player on stage, especially. And whenever he appeared, it seems like he was having some trouble with the placement oftentimes. But let's get on to it. We have the Magic Archer ban as well, which it seems kind of funky, but Zeros has been using somewhat whenever he came out, at least one out of the 3 games that he had in the set.
Well, you're putting the master of the Magic Archer to not use the Magic Archer. That's a pretty good strategy for OP Gaming as a database company of their own. They're kind of studied their way through it and thought that Zeros would find a lot of success with that card. So Zeros being the conventional guy, banning out the Tornado is very understandable. Even in this 1v1 where it's so usable in terms of his actions. And Zeros coming off with 6.4k trophy count. Of course, not to the level of Shun, who is right there next to him, coaching him and allowing him to get ready for this game to come up. But it is going to be Jin TV. 5.8k trophy count, of course not reflective of all the effort and hard work that he puts into his game. Once very famous for playing 13 hours a day for his practice regime, and I wonder if that's still going on though.
I wonder how much TNT actually practices then.
I mean, does he?
20 hours a day?
He practices a lot. I mean, literally when I first went over to the OGN team house to speak to him, I was talking to him, and he was telling me that he doesn't play ladder because he doesn't want to get stressed. And it was around 4.8k trophy count or something like that.
Oh yes.
Then a week later, he was at 6.2.
I guess he had something else to relieve that stress for.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
by
that
beating
guy,
other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, when you start beating and owning your opponents, maybe that can feel good. I don't know what that feeling feels like because I'm still hard stuck at 4.3.
Let's get it into the 1v1. That's actually on the screen, Joel. Let's focus. Jin TV versus Zeros. Only not too many matches for Zeros at all.
Royal Hogs onto one side here.
Pekka. Not a bad one.
It's pretty good. But when that 1 HP gets left alone like that, that is troublesome. Just making sure the targeting from the Pekka is not the smartest. And the 3 Muskies to answer for all this. 8 Elixir for Zeros to use to see what he can do against the 3 Muskies now. Nothing. He has nothing.
Drops the bandit.
Zaps.
Yeah, you can't really... Well, that's good. He actually got one of the Musketeers, so that's good news, I would say, for Zeros for having the Pekka that early in the game.
Can't believe he didn't have a spell though. That's what really surprised me here. And we're going to see if Zeros can handle the 3 Muskies deck where we know the winning condition is the Fireball. I mean, you gotta have the Fireball if you are playing against the 3 Muskie decks to find a lot of success. You're gonna have the Royal Hogs, you're gonna have the 3 Muskie, probably gonna have the Minion Horde in the middle of all of this, and if you don't have the Fireball, that's gonna be a tough matchup for Zeros.
Yeah. And the structure, or a bomb tower is what we're looking for always. But if you don't have one, you might just need to have some E-Wiz dropped on top on the left and maybe minions on the right. It will take some damage, but great spam on the way.
Yeah, the Hunter is going to be pretty good to start things off, and the Bridge Spam coming with this Battle Ram. It's going to be a start to the attack coming in from Zeros, but just going to cycle around. Still one unrevealed card from Zeros, and we'll see what that is. It doesn't seem like a Fireball at this point because he hasn't been using it so far. So while this Hunter obviously would have been taken care of very nicely by a Fireball getting down to minimal HP, and he doesn't have it.
Are we missing anything for Rage? I don't think so in this case.
Oh,
another Pekka. With the Zab, it's just one shot now.
9 Elixir investment for this defense, and still going to take HP damage.
So he's got to make his own attack work.
This last card, it better be something. It's nothing. He has nothing. Zeros cannot win with this deck.
Not yet, and Hunter, very powerful card against all the big units.
Poison
now.
Why didn't he use it earlier?
Well, I think he was waiting for his own bandit play, which is getting countered by that Royal Ghost.
Okay.
So not really working out perfectly for him. There's a set of hogs again. Not an elixir cost, and his own attack is not really working. He has been taking a little more damage over time. Jim TV, knowing that he's having the same cycles, eventually over time, he's going to win. So Zeros, he's got to change his cycle here a little bit.
Went with the bandit to target out the musketeer, but will not die out immediately. So that one little musketeer on the right, it still survives to see another day. So let's see what Zeros can do. It's gonna get the Royal Ghost to target just a little bit outside the range of the Princess Tower. So now gonna go to the Fireball cycle for Jim TV to see if he can finish off this game right here. And now another battle ram being supplied on the right side. Jim TV challenging him on the left side, putting out 2 muskies onto the side, and see what happens here. 2 muskies not targeting Pekka quite yet, so
Battle ram crashes into the tower, actually. Not a bad one.
Royal Ghost taking care of 2 muskies just finally here. So Pekka still walking in, Won't get a charge. 1 swipe, 2, that's it! Are you serious?
Yes.
Zeros 1 without a fireball.
That's exactly what happens.
Oh
you
my
take minimum
goodness.
damage from Royal Hogs.
Oh my word.
And that's how you use it. Even against the Ice Golem, he had a very nice drag. Jin TV, he thought he had a perfect drag on that Pekka, getting it nowhere near the tower, but that Golem actually went down pretty quickly. Hunter not as effective when Pekka's so nearby. He didn't even get the drag from the 2 that Hunter. I think that could have been a great way of defense. Just 1 pixel away.
Wow. Zeros 1 without a structure, without fireball. Poison used probably just once. It's either Zeros playing really, really well or Jin TV. I think he was supposed to win that one.
Zeros was actually spamming so that Jin TV did not get his perfect push of his own, because he has to just drop things down as a defensive tool against that battle ram all the time. And the battle ram didn't really connect perfectly oftentimes, and you do want to use the log to do the damage to battle ram and the barbarian that just comes out. Sometimes he had some late reactions onto it. I would say that's one of the things that has cost him a little bit into mid-game. And then the drag at the end was kind of funky from Jin TV there.
And you know what it is? It is match point, but Jin TV has no timeouts. They've already used it in that 2v2, which they eventually lost and got creamed all over.
Yes.
And now we're going to go on to this match, probably wondering if Jin TV can do anything here. He can't even win with a winning deck. If he just has a fair matchup this time around, what's to say that Zeros is not going to win another one?
It is not a perfect deck. There's no perfect deck in this game, and you just have to win with your skills. That's possible from time to time. And winner is a winner. Zeros just 1 game away from the match win for the team.
And our broadcast will be over very, very quickly.
And actually his first win ever.
Will it be his first set win?
Yeah, first set win ever.
Okay, that's very interesting. So, Zeros is going to summon Skeleton with Jin TV selling out Skeletons, but Royal Hogs once again. So, Fireball this time around. Definitely Zeros knows what is up. He knew what was missing from his deck last time around.
He's got the perfect one this time.
Yeah, he will not lose with this deck if this is normally played.
Well, Jin TV is going to try to shake up the cycles because this has happened. Yeah, with that Ice Golem, we were expecting the Hogs to come out. It's going to be very similar. I wonder if Zeros has that Hunter.
Okay. So
because that Magic Archer is banned, that may just be the same.
Could be. Royal Ghost just left alone, but
yes.
now gonna find a Hunter to target. This is an absolute mirror match between these 2 players. So literally, when game 1 wasn't reflective of the 2 players' skill comparatively, game 2 will get the perfect comparison.
We'll see as both are just tossing the logs down, getting all the skellies out. Ice Golem won't do a thing here.
They're even in elixir count right now, but Jin TV is losing in terms of HP, and Zero's gonna be walking here against this Hunter with the Royal Ghost, and probably will die out pretty soonly here. And now we're gonna be looking at this, all the Royal Hogs jumping in here. That was not the best Royal Hogs, if I have to say for myself. But
Zero's already used his Fireball, so next Hogs from Jin TV. Yeah. He has a log, so you can delay it. Okay.
This is not good.
But he doesn't have the elixirs to do it.
Yeah, it's taking away the damage from the right tower with that Royal Ghost, and the Royal Hogs not going to be countered very well by one Hunter. So 3 Muskies out back again. We'll see if Zero can run the 3 Muskies for himself. Definitely does, and it's going to have 1 on the left for both players and 2 on the right. And we'll see if Zeros can take advantage of this Royal Ghost now charging in here.
Great fireball. All the distractions. Skeleton's actually getting deleted by that Ghost as well. So Zeros in this case. Slight of a lead.
The Royal Ghost. And after all that through, the Skeletons will be able to take out the Musketeer, and gonna get 3 Muskies back out once again. This time 2 to 1 with left to right variant. And you're gonna see the Ice Golem perfectly placed to take up all the damage from the Hunter, and along with the Royal Ghost as well. So now, what do you defend with?
Not a bad timing. He has a fireball of his own as well, so he can actually push a little bit further into it.
You can see that 1 Musketeer on the right didn't reach the tower's range, so that was a good situation for Zeros. But see if the Royal Hogs this time around on the right side will be reaching in. All these basic spam defense from the side of Jin TV will be good enough to take it all this, but it took a lot of elixirs to get it done. 7 elixirs to be fair.
Not actually knocking it back. The side has to use the Skeletons again. It's going to be a quick cycle that you don't really need too much, but when you waste it, 1 elixir, that could actually make the difference in this game.
2 to 1 elixir trade right now in this split of the Musketeers, and get the 1 Musket on the right. It's still moving on here. The Fireball is not ready. Just gonna quickly cycle to the Skeletons, to the Log, to the Royal Ghost, and we'll get it charged that way, and we'll just die out to this Musket right here, and get to almost target to the tower, but the Ice Golem stops in his tracks.
Yeah, just in time, because the cycle's way too quick for both players. Just have to keep an eye on both. We have to split eyes, left and right. And about 1,000 damage to go, but only 2 minutes remaining.
So 2 to 1 for Jin TV and 1 to 2 for Zeros, and we'll see what this all turns up into. And the Skeleton doing a pretty good job of targeting things through, and will kill off all the Muskies. Now on the right side is what they have to worry about now, and Fireball is not going to be ready for now, so it's going to have the Royal Ghost and also the Hunter to do a pretty good job of defending against his Royal Hog.
He's got his own Hogs onto the right. Fireball just in time. That's going to be just enough to delete all of them before it does damage. Just 1 hit onto the tower, but still thousands into the game.
1 to 2 split. With a 1 to 2 split of his own by Jin TV. Gonna get the same arrangement. The 3 Muskies to both angles here. Gonna have the Ice Golem on the front of the left for Zeros, and gonna get the Fireball and the Log combo. The Royal Ghost will die out, so it doesn't have anything for this. The Logs will come through with the Hunter now taking the charge, and look at this on the left side.
He actually used a little bit too much, unless he wants to make his own attack, so this attack will be pretty powerful from Zeros.
Okay, looking at this, the Fireball will take care of all the works here, and this 1 Musketeer on the left is still so healthy, but the Ice Golem is there in time, so 6-10 on the count for Jin TV, as we're only 30 seconds away, and it very well could be a tie game if we do not see the spell cycling quick enough.
Only 30 seconds left, and 610 seems like the tower that he wants to go for, but because of the 2 Musketeer on the left, Fireball has to be used on the left side. He wants to connect a little more onto the right. Seems like that's not possible at the moment.
On the left side. On the left
connect.
side. 13, 12. He does have Fireball. Oh, barely. And 83, 24, and that's it. The Fireball will be there in time. 6 seconds left to go, and Jin TV could not hold on. Could have extended it over to another game, but will be that Game 2 victory, 2 in a row for GameWith. And now we'll take this series, and Japan wins another one.
Wow.
And the story is back to us once again. OG and ENTUS, the best team in Korea?
Not yet in terms of standings, but in terms of skills of TNT, yes, I think so. And
I didn't see it.
OP Gaming is nowhere close to be contesting against GameWith today.
No. And even without Shun, we thought putting Shun on the roster, literally putting your B team out on the field. And I mean, Amaterasu and Yu Hero got the cleanest of victories in that 2v2 against Uchan and Sungwon.
It was not even close.
Not even close.
Yes.
And Zeros and Jin TV a little bit closer, yes, but 2 games in a row. What do you say to that?
I think Zeros got a better handle of his cycle compared to Game 1. Much better control of his own Hogs in Game 2. And he's the one making moves, always getting better trading the elixirs. when the Three Musketeers were getting dropped onto the back, we could see the elixir difference, about 1 to 2 advantage for Zeros all the time. Which was good for Jin TV to actually block that, but he was actually taking a lot of damage, slipping out just by a little bit every single time.
And now, we are going to get the scenario where Jin TV could not win with a favorable deck in Game 1, but even in Game 2.
So that was just a late drop onto the Ghost. You sometimes think it's like an Ice Golem, it actually takes some delay before it goes into the mode where he can be attacked.
That's the look on the face. But we're going to talk with Zeros to see what he says after the interview. Congratulations. It was a tough win. I'm really happy about this win. How did you feel about coming to this one? I didn't get many wins recently, so it was a tough moment for all of us. And it feels good to get the win. At the last moment, as you do talk about tough memories, and you do find a win, we're very glad for you on that one. But and you looked very good in the last games. How'd you feel? We worked really hard and put a lot of practice hours in, and that's kind of how we entered into this game. With 30 seconds left to go, everybody thought that you were going to just end up in a tie. I think putting into a longer set, I think with 40 seconds left, I knew that if I can maybe just go for the decisive play, that would have finished it up in the end. Coming into this one, do you feel like you've changed as a lot as a player? I think psychologically we were a little bit weaker coming into this one, so after losing so much, but I think we need to really getting consecutive wins is going to be our priority coming into the next ones. What do you want to say your current emotions right now? We knew he didn't have the best results coming into this one, but I think this win should really reflect our future matches to come. So that's going to be the words coming in from Zero. Just for confirmation, I don't speak any Japanese. That was their translator translating from Japanese to Korean, and I translated that from Korean to English. So we all got that out of the way. I don't speak multiple languages. That's out of the way. But
you do speak two. That's enough sometimes.
That's sometimes enough. You know, we got to be humble, and Zeros, no need to be humble on that one, because the way that he got the win, it was fantastic wins. And Jin TV, not the weakest opponent in Korea. We kind of served him as one of the best out there in Korea, but still losing out. And really, Zeros looking good today.
Yes, he had a tornado ban, and that's what he's known for last year, the year before, in his competitive, but not anymore with that tornado ban that's going to be stuck against him all the time. Magic Archer ban was interesting, specifically against Zeros today, but wonder what that was actually too effective in the actual match. With that roll logs, I think it could have been working because he had the Hunter. It actually worked better.
It kind of made me think all the way around because OP Gaming with Jin TV, he had the deck that would have benefited off of the Magic Archer, and he played it for 2 games in a row. So why ban out the card that would have benefited your deck instead of the Hunter? You could have played the Magic Archer and probably had a better game.
Well, we heard the words from TNT. Play more game.
Hey, get good. That's what you need to do. 2 wins over to Japan with FOV Gaming and GameWith winning out against Kingsun and OP Gaming respectively. But OG and ENTUS, literally 1 player winning out every single game. Everybody losing out, but it doesn't matter.
So they're catching up a little bit. They have that 2 now. Is it going to be rising anymore?
They might get to... Yeah, actually, they might. Because think about it. I mean, Sandbox and OP Gaming has only 2-1 games over them. So with 3 games in a row with Sandbox and OP Gaming probably losing multiple still in a row, and that might be OG and ENTUS' call to say that they might make the playoffs literally off the hands of TNT.
It might be coming. Sandbox didn't play, Pono Sports didn't play, which means they're going to be the first one up tomorrow playing the matches, and that's a tough matchup for Sandbox. Pono's considered the best team from Japan right now with Mick and Booyah on the team. I wonder what that's going to be like, because OG and ENTUS, I think they played Ponos before in the week. We will not have a great matchup of that 1v1 gods, and maybe in the playoff if they actually come up to the top, and that's going to be the wild card that OG and ENTUS will be looking for.
But you know what, G-Clip, it doesn't seem to matter, because it seems like as long as TNT can win every single match that he plays, they end up winning. Because that's how the game works. I mean, even if you lose a 2v2 in the most embarrassing manner that you've ever done in your career,
doesn't matter if you win
all your 1v1. Literally a one-man team that is better than the rest of the team from abroad.
Yeah, we'll see.
Win all the games.
We'll see. That's the next matchup. They don't have too many matches left. Let's see how far they can actually climb up in the standings. Proto Sports, Sandbox, and I have the rest here. DentonatioN versus Kingzone, GameWith versus OGN. So OGN plays one more, the final game tomorrow. And let's see where the story actually goes. If TNT is actually able to have all the 2-0s that he wants to have.
Yeah, OGN and GameWith should be a very interesting one because OGN showed that they can do it against.
Is Shun going to come out, or even Kate?
I mean,
all the members from GameWith.
Shun versus TNT will be very, very hype. And I'm just putting it out there. And just Tempura, obviously not the strongest opposition that TNT could have faced, and made him look like a fool. And coming into day 2 of this week and really putting TNT to the test, where if you have Shun, possibly the best 1v1 player in all of Japan, kind of barring him against Mikan Booya. That should be a very interesting matchup, and if TNT is able to do it again, that says a lot about this player that's coming from Korea, looking to dominate the season.
I would say banned one of his favorite cards, Bandit or the Battle Ram in that case, and try to switch up a thing, but he's got that strength. What he said, literally in the interview. I have a lot of decks.
And he does. I mean,
what can you ban against this guy?
Literally, I went to a stream with him, and you know, we streamed together, and I literally told him to play everything that I requested for him and to win ladder matches. I made him play heal. I made him play Elite Barbarians. He won with everything.
Elite Barbs are strong.
I'm out. Don't tell Supercell that they're gonna buff everything, because if we say something is strong, they think it's
strong.
We say it's strong, and they think, oh, they said it's strong, so it must be weak, so we need to buff it.
At least we don't have Simon here, so it's okay.
I mean, thank you.
Well, he'll be here tomorrow.
He'll be here tomorrow. That's gonna be us for today, guys, and we will be back with tomorrow with Simon and I presenting the day 2 action between Korea versus Japan. We'll see how this action really unfolds here after we come back next day, just the same amount of time. So we'll be back for more Clash Royale, and we will see you there. We'll go out soon.
Pretty soon.
There you go. See you guys.